What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, smash the like button. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And let's get talking a bit about boxing. Guys, so I saw a video lately where Saul Canelo Alvarez basically said that Demetrius Andrade is a boring fighter. He said that in the past, but I saw a video where he confirmed that again. Obviously, there seems to be an issue between Andrade and Canelo. Canelo feels like he's chasing a payday, and he doesn't want to give Andrade that payday. To be honest, because there definitely seems to be a bit dislike. Let me let me get put this link up, and then you guys can jump on if you want to jump on. Get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in, and let's get this live stream started. Get your questions in. I'd love to know your opinions on this. Get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in for me so we can get this live stream started. Um, any of you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to jump on. I'd appreciate anyone that wants to come on. So if you want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on. I'll be waiting for you guys to hop on and jump on. Any of you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. More than welcome to jump on. Anyone wants to jump on? Um, I've got the link in the stream, and we're good to talk boxing. So, yeah, what do you guys make of Andrade? Canelo saying that Andrade's a boring fight. Is it a fight that you want to see? Is it a fight that interests you? Is it? I know we spoke about this many times in the past, but Canelo loves rubbing it in with Andrade and saying that he's a horrible fighter. He was at the fight, Frank Sanchez fight or this against Martin, and I think that's where he mentioned it that again he's a horrible fighter. Do you think it's a case of that the fight will become very big one day and the fight eventually will happen, or do you think it's a case where Canelo will never fight Andrade, and won't give him that opportunity, won't give him that payday? What do you guys think? I'd love to know your opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think Canelo will eventually fight Andrade or not? Personally, I think it's a good fight. I think stylistically, it's a good fight. It'll be a great fight for the fans, and I think it would make sense for Canelo to fight Andrade. But at the minute, it just seems like he dislikes Andrade. He probably thinks that he's looking for a payday, which a lot of fighters are with Canelo. But what do you guys make? What do you guys make of this whole Andrade Canelo situation? What do you guys make of it? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. There's no comments coming at the minute, guys. What's going on? Smash the like button. Get your comments in, guys. Where are you guys at? Get your comments in. Where we at? Where we at, guys? Get your questions in. There's no questions. Nothing's come in yet. Okay, so Lee Wright says, Imran, I'm intrigued about Virgil Ortiz and McKinson. People are thinking McKinson to shock the world. He is 21-0, and he's a tricky southpaw. He's been sparring with Josh Taylor. He's no mug. Yeah, I'm intrigued with that fight as well. I don't think he's got the power to keep Virgil Ortiz off, and I think Virgil Ortiz will just walk through him. He's a good fighter, Mickinson, but I don't think he's got the power to keep off Virgil Ortiz. I think Virgil Ortiz hits too hard for him. That's just my personal opinion. But time will tell. Time will tell if if he can pull it off, if he can shock everybody. I doubt it though. I don't see him beating. I don't see him beating Virgil Ortiz. I think Ortiz is going to be too much, too strong for him. But that's just my personal opinion. Guys, anyone in the stream want to jump on? Okay, Lee Wright says, I think the same, to be honest. If Do you know if the fight's confirmed? I think so. I think the fight is confirmed, and that's going to be Virgil Ortiz's next fight. I don't know whether they've got a venue and official. I think it'll be in America, and it'll be promoted by Golden Boy. I'm not sure if they've got the date confirmed yet. if I'm honest with you. But I think will be Virgil Ortiz's next fight, to be brutally honest. What's going on, Miguel? You all right?
Hello, Imran. How are you, sir?
I'm good, good, all good. How are you?
Good, good. How's your New Year's going?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. What about yourself?
I'm working. That's the
Oh,
thing.
you're working
But
on
that's
New
the way.
Year's.
That's the way life goes, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Are you
gotta
still
work to
working today?
survive. Yes, yes.
Right,
I'm.
okay,
I'm at
fair
work,
enough,
as a matter
man.
of fact, right now. Yes.
Oh, really?
Excuse me. I got a little bit of cold here, but I'm okay.
Fair
Anyway, I
enough.
heard your your video earlier about what's his name, Andrade and
Yeah, yeah,
Canelo.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I don't think that. Honestly, we can dream of, we can think about it, about the
yeah.
fight being made.
Mm.
I don't think it's going to be made, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because Canelo has different ambitions, and as you know, Canelo doesn't have no interest in fighting him at all, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
he does or whatever he does. It doesn't attract to Canelo to fight with him at all, honestly.
Mm.
And Canelo has this, different ambitions. I believe he wants to take the 175.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that's I believe that's what his goal. Like I was telling you earlier in the last year, whatever. Uh, that he's gonna go. Of course, he's gonna fight in the cruiserweight. Am I right? They're still working on
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
with
Macabre. Yeah,
Matubu.
I don't know. It's a bit confusing whether he's gonna fight at cruiserweight or not. I'm not sure what he's gonna do.
Yeah, but
I heard Charlo and Golovkin as well.
yes, but Golovkin, Triple G has to move up though,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't think does he really want to go up in weight?
I
Does
don't know what's
anybody?
going on with Golovkin. I think he's gonna fight
Yeah,
Murata.
yeah. But what is he gonna do after that? Is he gonna go after Canelo? Is he gonna move up in weight?
I
Is he
think he'll
willing
move
to
up
go
for
up in weight?
Canelo. I think he'll
At
move up for
one
Canelo.
75, 168? You
Yeah,
think?
yeah, probably. Like I don't know if he'll move up to what. Like maybe for Canelo, he might even move up to 175. I don't know.
Huh. But he's getting to that age that it's gonna be hard for him to uh,
Yeah, keep making. Yeah, keep
keep
making.
making it. Yeah, going up in weight, and it's gonna slow him down considerably.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Especially at his age. And I think if that's a big if he fights Canelo at 168, I think Canelo will beat him up.
Yeah,
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 very
yeah. At
easy.
this point, yeah, yeah. At
Yes,
this point, Golovkin did
uh,
look good recently.
right. Canelo, as you can see, he's a quick-handed fighter too, and
Mm-hmm.
he has the
Yeah.
skills. But talking about Andrade, I don't think the fight will never be made. To be honest with you,
Whatever. You don't
you
think it'll
know.
ever happen?
No, I don't. No, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I don't think it's gonna. And I don't know why a lot of people still bringing up, that he ducked him and he ducked Charlo, and whatever. He
Mm.
never ducked anybody. I mean, why they
Mm-hmm.
bring those guys up anymore? They shouldn't bring
Mm.
them anymore up.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, yeah,
neither
yeah.
one of them want to pursue Canelo. They don't want to
Mm.
move up in weight. They want to stay where they at. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
sad. I think they're happy. They're satisfied. But they just blowing up smoke on Canelo. But Canelo is not listening to them. I says, if they want to fight him, they want to really go fight him. Move up and wait, or fight each other.
Mm.
But why
Mm.
they haven't done that? That's you question that too, right?
Yeah,
Yourself.
yeah, yeah.
And a lot of the viewers and your podcast. I mean, and your thing here, they question themselves why they haven't fought.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
You
agree, man.
know,
I don't know. I
yeah,
think, to be honest, why haven't Charlo and Andrade fought each other?
that's it, exactly. I mean, if the I hate repeating this, but neither one of them wants to lose their title. They want to
Mm.
remain champion.
Yeah,
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying?
sad. Yeah, yeah,
It is
definitely.
sad, you know. What you know, if they really want to go after each other, they want to be. If they really want to be undisputed, really undisputed in that weight, they should have
Mm,
fought each other a long time ago, and they should have fought Triple G,
yeah,
right, at 160. You
yeah,
know, and so for unified the title. I mean, get all the four belts.
yeah.
Why there?
Apparently,
Why
there's some
neither?
noise about them fighting now, Charlo and
Well,
Andrade. I hope so.
yeah, but there's so it's always a noise, right? But is
Yeah,
it really going to happen?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
If,
I doubt
you
it.
see, it's all the speculations. But let's be
Yeah.
real. You know,
Mm,
let's wait until really gets. You know, let's wait until they really say, hey, you know, let's sign like at least a commitment to fight each other. You know,
yeah,
sign something. You know, okay, after this fighting, after we do our, you know, whatever mandatory it is, you know, let's fight each other.
yeah. I don't know about. I don't know whether that fight will ever happen. There's a
Yeah.
lot of issues like PBC. There's the DAZN. There's Andrade. It's just so many issues, man. I don't
And
know.
the,
That fight should have happened a long time ago.
right, and the sad thing about it is all a bunch of politics and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's all a bunch of
Nonsense.
politics, nonsense. You know, let's put it back 20, 30 years ago. They never had that kind of problem. They fight each other.
That's
Well,
why.
they have,
That's why Canelo,
yeah,
Makai. What's going on, Makai? That's why Canelo became a free agent, Miguel and Makai,
right,
because he
right,
knew that obviously if he gets stuck with one broadcaster, then he
exactly.
won't be able to. He won't be able to make the fights.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's exactly what Canelo left, and be that's what Canelo it is. He is where it is right now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and go ahead.
Yeah. What do you think, Makai?
What do I think about the Canelo Andrade fight?
Yeah, well, not the Canelo Andrade and the fact that Canelo became a free agent, and do you think Canelo will fight Andrade in the future or not?
Um, no, not really. I mean, Canelo's made it very clear that he doesn't want to fight Andrade. It's not because he's, as people say, as the Andrade fans are saying, scared of him. Like Canelo, he'd only fight Andrade if he had to. That's why at Undisputed he was trying to get the Andrade fight. But obviously, I don't want to get into the details of everything. But now, he's undisputed at 168. There's more bigger fights for him. He doesn't care about Andrade. I don't really care about the Andrade fight. I want to see Canelo fight other guys. I want Andrade, to fight someone in his division. I want to see the Charlo fight. I don't know why that
Mm.
fight hasn't happened. I want to see Andrade fight. He's mandatory, the dangerous guy, Janabek.
Janabek, yeah.
That's a very good
Yeah,
fight, and that's a
there
fight
you
he'll
go.
probably lose. That's a fight he'll probably lose. But now, because he knows it's a very risky fight, now he's moving up. He
Yeah,
doesn't. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to risk himself because he doesn't want to lose the payday. Like that's what all these fighters are doing now. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
Like I don't know. I don't understand why fighters.
But
For
here's
instance,
the thing, though, Makai.
Dave Benavidez. He's actually trying to get big fights to get the Canelo fight. He's not getting them because obviously he's trying to fight Charlo, guys like that. But they don't want to fight him. But he's actually trying to. He understands what he has to do. But Andrade, he just thinks he can get it just like that. It's ridiculous.
But here's the thing, though, Makai. There may be a good chance of the Charlo fight happening now because he knows that he's mandatory to Well, I don't even think it was Andrade that's stopping that fight. It's Charlo, isn't it? It's more Andrade would fight Charlo now, but I don't know. I think it's Charlo that's stopping that fight. Don't you
I
think?
mean, honestly, Imran, I don't know. This is just speculation, really. It's just Andre saying, "Oh, I want to fight Charlo." Charlo, he kind of gives you that vibe, but he doesn't actually want to fight Andrade. But
Mm,
I mean, we don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes. None of us actually know what's going on. Andrade,
mm,
he calls out all these guys, but
mm,
is he really actually trying to fight them? Is he actually getting his team to talk to him? Like, if you really want to fight, these are the things you would do. This is what Golovkin used to do when he was in his prime days. Loughlade, call, PBC, Top Rank, saying, "Who have you got?
Hmm.
Who have you got?" That's what they do. They'd actually try and get these fights. Andrade's
Right.
not doing it. You can't tell me. You got the Andrade fans saying, "Oh yeah, like why isn't he fighting anyone in the top 10? Oh, they're all avoiding them." But then like he fights someone who's like 40th ranked in the world. So you're telling me that all those 40 fighters in the front was turning them down? Like it's ridiculous. None of them they don't actually try and get the fights.
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of excuses too.
Yeah,
That they just don't want to fight each other. They don't want to go up to the top 10. To fight the what's that guy's name you said that has the mandatory?
Janabek, yeah,
Janabek.
very dangerous
there you
guy.
go. See, yeah, like you said, why suddenly he wants to move up in weight?
It's ridiculous. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to risk himself. Because you got Janabek, who's unknown. Because he's unknown, people ain't going to say, "Oh, Andre's stuck in this guy," because they don't know who the mandatory is. They just think it's just some nobody who's got an undefeated record. But this guy, he's proper, and now Andre's stuck.
What happened though, Mackay? Eddie Hearn wrote to the WBC to make Charlo or to make Andrade mandatory for Charlo. What happened there? That just all disappeared. No one. What happened to that?
It fell apart, didn't it?
Apparently then the WBO made Janabek mandatory for Andrade.
Yeah,
but what happened to that? I thought
Janabek's team. He forced the WBO to for him to be Namando, and then it happened. Like he really wants that fight, but I don't really know what's actually going on with the Andrade Charlo fight. Because I hear that Andrade turned down an offer to go PBC to fight Charlo. And then obviously I hear Charlo turned down $7 million to fight Andrade. So I've heard they're both avoiding each other. That makes no sense. I'm hearing different sides of the stories. I'm just beginning to think it's all a lie. It's all like it for interviews, for clout, something like that.
No, it's just all like a soap opera, Yeah. Everybody gets involved, and at the end of the day, nobody knows what to do.
Exactly.
They just leave it alone,
Yeah.
I mean, there's kisses and huggings and fighting and all that kind of stuff, and at the end of the day, there's nothing. And that's one thing about those organizations. They're all a bunch of nothing but politics. They don't want to let the fighters fight. And also the fighters don't open. I mean, they should control they should have control through their own destiny, through their own career. You tell them, hey, wait a minute, stop it. I want to fight him. I don't care what you say. I want to fight him. Put your foot down, dude.
And what else that I don't get is that you got Golovkin. He's fighting Murata in the unification. If I'm Andrade to Charlo, you're like, why don't I fight him, who's got the WBO belt, and then the winner of us can then fight for undisputed? Like why? Why can't these fighters have the mentality like that? They just want to fight the best guys. I don't understand. It's only the middleweight division, really, that I'm seeing that's kind of doing that. That's it's fairly obvious that they're doing it.
That is, you're right about that. But the thing is, they just don't want to lose. They want to keep their title. They want to fight. Unknown fighters that they're not giving them any challenges at all. But it's time for these guys who've been champions for quite a while to fight each other and move on and go to the other belts, go on this undisputed. And then
I think they're all waiting for Canelo, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Why are you gonna wait for Canelo? Canelo is not gonna come back at 160 anymore. Everybody knows that. And Canelo already said that. Not that he said that, but says, "Hey, I'm out here at 175, and I'm going to cruiserweight." But for him to go down all the way to 160, it's too much for him right now.
I'd agree.
He feels comfortable with his weight at 168 and 175, maybe up to 180. That's what he feels comfortable with. But 160, that'd be too much for him. It will drain a lot of his energy out.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It would be that's too that's
Yeah.
that wouldn't be wise for Canelo to do that.
Right, right.
No, not at
if
all.
really if this guy's really want a Canelo payday, move up and fight somebody there that it will get Canelo's attention, and then Canelo says, "Okay, let's fight." But
Yeah,
they don't want to do that.
yeah. One,
They call him out, but they don't do what they say. Yeah. You there? Hello?
What happened
Did I
there?
lost you? Oh, okay.
Forgive
yeah,
me,
guys.
oh, he's back.
Are we there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're here. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What do you? So, Makai, is Canelo Andrade a fight that you'd be interested in?
I mean, not really. Yeah,
Not really. You're not really interested.
there's other guys I'd rather see Canelo fight. Andrade, we all know what Andrade's gonna do. Just gonna run
Yeah.
around, try and pop shot. That's all he's gonna do. It's gonna be so boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be even boring than the Caleb Plant fight.
Yeah, the plant fight wasn't very exciting, was it?
No.
Exactly. No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why people want to see
Right.
that. Why on earth do people want to see Andrade just run around the ring, pop shotting Canelo for 12 rounds? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that's like that. That's how Andrade. I'm not saying Andrade would win. Obviously, we'll see Canelo, do his thing. But I mean, it's not gonna be entertaining. There's so much more entertaining fights out there that we would rather see.
That's true. You just sorry to say, but yeah, you're right. He's a boring fighter.
Exactly. As Canelo says, horrible.
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a horrible
the guy
fighter
is hor-
because
the guy
he's
is
just
horrible.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just boring. That's why he hasn't got the attention that he wants, because he's a boring fighter. They want to see somebody excited, and somebody that with the good karma, with just like Canelo Mayweather has, that kind of personality. They attracts people to you. You bring a lot of fans with you. You have to be excited. You just don't run around the ring and sort of like the matador, and just let the bull come to you and then you run away from it. And that's how Andrade fights.
Yeah, his style is quite boring. It's not the most exciting style at all.
No. And also he's boring too. I mean, his personality doesn't attract a lot of people to his fights. Just doesn't have a good personality at all either. Doesn't have the aura that it brings people in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
He's not a likable boxer at all. So,
what do you think Canelo's gonna do next? Then it seems a bit confusing to who's gonna fight. Who do you want to see him fight?
I'm hearing that the Maccabee fight might not be happening. So I mean, I'm here. Yeah, see, like these are just rumors though. But I heard a guy, he knows people who work with the PBC and everything, and he said that Canelo and Charlo might be fighting in May. So I mean, it's just rumors though, but no one actually knows. But I heard about this like a week ago, and like nothing's came out, so it's probably not true.
What's going on, Steven?
What's up? What's up with it? How's everybody doing, man? What's cracking?
What's up, Steven, man?
All good, man. All good. What do you make of the news? What do you make of everything happening in boxing?
You talking about with Andrade and Andrade?
Yeah. What do you make? Firstly, what do you make of Andrade, man? What's going on with Demetrius?
Demetrius just trying to get in where he fit in, man. Look, his career is stagnant as it is. I think he's trying to move up to 168 where there's more available competition for him. And I think he's just trying to make the best of his career right now because it's bad, man. It's just his career is going in a bad direction.
Why is the Charlo fight not happening? I don't understand.
That's something that they need to wear, man. That's something that they need to figure out. I mean, there's no sense in him not fighting Charlo. You know, them not being able to work towards a fight, a potential fight. I think they all holding out for the big fight, which is it's obviously gonna be Canelo. But I don't think Canelo. I don't think he really tripping out going back down to 168. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
You're not going. He ain't going to 160. So I think at some point you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, and they need to go on and move on with their lives and try to make the best out of what they have between all of them. You know, still a lot of good fights at 168.
yeah, I'd agree. There's some good fights, but who would you want to see? Who do you want to see Canelo fight next? Who do you want to see Andrade fight next? Who do you want to see Charlo fight next? Out of those
Well,
guys.
I would like to see. Starting off Canelo. I like to see Canelo. Defend his title against Benavidez or somebody. If not, if he can't do that, I want to see him go up and fight. You know what I'm saying? Dimitri or Better
Better be.
Beef. And hopefully he can make something happen with that. But I don't want to see him fight Cabo, man. I don't want to see him do that.
Mm,
I've been vocal about that. I don't want to see him now. As far as Demetrius, I like to see him go to 168, man. I like to see him go to 168. I think he has a good style, and it matches well with Wavy Davy Benavidez.
mm,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Jamal. I don't think Jamal could beat him. I don't think Jamal could beat Andrade. I really don't think so. Andrade is his style is real. It's real. It's unorthodox. It's not.
mm,
It's not your run of the mill style, and
mm,
I don't think it matches up good with Jamal. I think that's a bad fight, and that may be why they haven't really fought. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
People don't know, man. Demetrius Andrade, that dude's good, man. Real good. And
mm,
that's not to take anything from Jamal, but I just think I think he edges out. Now, you asked me about who I want to see Charlo fight. I think he
mm,
needs to fight. I think he needs to fight. Uh, I don't think. I think Charlo is the weak man out. I don't see him beating Benavidez. I don't see him beating Jamal. I mean, I don't see him beating Benavidez or Andrade. I don't see him do that. So I think Charlo needs to figure out where he's gonna go. He could fight David Morrell Jr. That'd be a good fight. I think David Morrell might get him.
But the thing is, why would he fight David Morrell? He's a prospect. It doesn't make sense for him.
Yeah, it make a lot of sense for him because if you beat David Morrell, see, David Morrell is highly touted. He's like kind of like he got the same type of buzz as Jerron Businis. It's gonna be a good win for him if he can beat him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't know if he beats him, but it'll be a good win.
Yeah, you're right, Morel. He does get a lot of hype. You know, I'm seeing some people say they want him to fight Canelo, like straight away. Like he's got a lot of hype on him, like Morel. Yeah.
Yeah, man. David is good, man. That dude good. He's powerful too, man.
How many fights does he have?
I don't know,
Not a
man.
lot.
Probably.
Not a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just know. I just know that dude. He reps shop. That dude good, man. David Morrell Jr. is good, man. He's good.
So if Andrade and Charlo fought, who do you guys think wins that fight? I know Steven just said that Andrade would beat him. What do you guys think?
Sorry, what did you say again?
Andrade and Charlo, who wins that fight in your opinion?
You know, I'm really for that. You know, Charlo, he telegraphs a lot of his punches. So, you know, Andrade
50-50.
Yeah, so Andrade, you know, he would see those punches going, but you know, Charlo's got a really good jab. and everything. Andrade, he's obviously got the better feet. He's a lot more faster, more slick. So he probably frustrate Charlo a little. But you know that is it's a good fight. I'd probably
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's a
I'd
good
probably
fight.
edge it to Andrade maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a good
I mean,
fight as well.
those fighters who fight from angles, they real hard to beat because you never know where you're getting hit from. And
Mm.
Demetrius Andrade, he got a lot of power too, so
Yeah.
he might slip to one angle and catch him and hit him on the chin or temple. It might be lights out for Jamal.
You
Mm,
know, I don't see him. I don't see him like stopping Charlo, but I can see Charlo being wary. You know, because I do forget sometimes as well. Andrade, you know, he has got power. He can whack. So I think he'll just make Charlo a bit more wary, but I don't think he'd stop him.
You don't think he
Because you
stop
know,
him?
with Andrade, when he puts you down or when he has you, he just doesn't finish it. You know, I mean, we saw it in the last fight, but I mean, that was the only time he actually went for it. I think he's going to start doing that now. I hope. But before that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he'd put you down. He sometimes put guys down in the first round, then he'd just leave it, then he'd cruise to a 12 round. That's what he'd do
Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah, but I mean, who knows? Who knows?
yeah. I agree with you, man. You made some good points,
yeah.
Makai. That's right, man. You right about that, man.
You
That's
know Charlo could hurt Andrade as well because
Yeah, he
we
showed
saw
good,
in the
man.
Williams fight. Hey, we saw in the Williams fight. Williams was putting a lot of pressure on Andrade, and Charlo has a similar kind of style, but he's more skilled than Williams. So I don't know, man. Maybe if maybe if that fight goes in later rounds, maybe Andre runs out of stamina and Charlo gets to him. That's why I think it's an intriguing matchup. I'm not sure if Andre can knock out Charlo. I think Charlo's got a fairly good chin.
He
Uh,
did take some big punches from that Korobov. Like they were such clean punches as well.
well, okay. I'll put it like this. I think Jamel got a good chin.
Mm,
I think
Mm.
Jamal. Well, he got a good chin, but
mm,
we ain't seen a test like Jamel. Out of the
mm,
two of them, Jamel is the
mm,
beast. Jamel's the killer out of the two of them.
Mm.
mm.
Yeah, that's true.
He's more proven, isn't he?
He's a ferocious killer, man. Jamel, that's
Mm,
my dude, man. Jamel is the type of dude that you want going into to fights with you. Because
mm,
Jamel is a beast, man. He got that killer. He a natural born killer.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man. Jamel, I like him as well, and he's taking on the best as well. He takes on the best. Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to give
true.
respect to Jamel. I really want to see. You know what? I'm a bit different to some of you guys. I know Miguel and Makai said they're not interested. I'm gonna come to King, right? What's going on, King? I hope you're good. But um, I want to see Canelo fight Andrade. I actually think it'd be quite a big fight now with all the history and stuff. What do you think, King? King, you there? Yeah, I can hear
in
you.
there.
What's going on, King? You right? King? I think there's a
King,
bit of
King ain't all right, man. King struggling,
King.
man.
Yeah, he's got connection issues, King, man.
Must be the
Struggling,
weather.
dude.
What do you think? What do you think, Stephen? While King's getting his connection sorted, about
About Canelo and
Andrade,
Andrade.
I want to see it, man. I want to see that fight.
I mean, listen, man. It's like this, man. At what point do you move on, man? I mean, Canelo don't want to fight Andrade for whatever reason. You know, Andrade want to fight Canelo. You know, if you put a truth serum in me, you know, I don't think Demetrius can beat Canelo. I don't think this version of Canelo. I don't think he can beat. So you kind of you barking up the wrong tree for what? And what is it gonna give you? What's it gonna give you? And you know, I just think that's an old mundane topic, man. I'm tired of talking about whether or not Andrade gonna fight Canelo because It ain't gonna happen. Canelo don't want. He don't want. For some reason, Canelo don't want. He don't want to see him. Canelo don't. Canelo ain't a bit more worried about Andrade than the man in the moon. Canelo,
Why though?
he's
Why do
doing
you
all.
think? Why do you think that though? Why do you think
I
that he
think
does
that's
that?
gonna, to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it 100 though. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
it 100 with you. I think there's a little trepidation in Canelo. I think Canelo, because they could have fought a long time ago.
Hmm.
They could have fought a long time ago. But see, when you say things and when you introduce a unpopular uh uh frame of way of thinking about it, you get cash. You get lambasted. You get
Hmm.
made it to be a hater. But the facts are is that there could be a little trepidation. Who don't want to lose? Listen, who want to lose? Who want? I know I don't want to lose. Do you
Hmm.
want to lose, then, Ren?
No, no, of course not.
Makai, do you want to lose?
I don't want to lose.
Nobody want to lose, man. So
No.
Canelo may see something in Andrade that may say, oh, listen, this guy, he got the tools to beat me. What's up, my man? You know
Yeah,
that
I
could
don't
be
know though.
good.
I don't know whether it's a case where I don't know. Is it a case where Canelo feels Andrade could beat him? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't
We
know.
don't know what Canelo's thinking.
Yeah, we don't know but what we do have on our side is we have empirical data. You know what that is? Empirical data is something that you can't refute. It's something that you can go back into the books and you can or you can reference at some point and you can say, hey, this didn't happen because X, Y, Z. We know that
Hmm.
they had chances to fight when Canelo
Hmm.
was at the lower weight classes and they didn't fight. I'm not saying that Canelo was scared, but for some reason, and it's not. Listen, man, it don't always have to be about one person being scared of the other. It's a business. Boxing is a
Hmm.
business, and it's not really lucrative. It's not financially sound, a sound decision to take fight with somebody that you know going to your or compromise your earning potential. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. But the thing is, Canelo's trainer Eddie Reynoso is talking about Golovkin and Charlo.
Yeah, they really want the
Yeah,
Charlo
they're talking
fight.
about Golovkin and Charlo. So why not Andrade? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. No, a lot of people don't want to see Andrade, but let me say this. Gennady is still a force in the game. So anybody
Hmm.
taking that fight, they need to beware of Gennady. Gennady he done got
Yeah, but do you
cheated
want to see
twice.
that again, Steve? We've seen it
Huh?
twice. We've seen that fight twice already. I want to
Yeah.
see
I
Andrade, Charlo, or Benavidez. I want to see something different.
yeah. That he need to fight Canelo again, but I'm just saying that he's still a viable, formidable force in the game. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be hell for any one of them to beat.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. I just don't want to see. I rather see, I rather see Canelo fight Andrade or someone different, man. I don't really want to see him fight um Golovkin again. I've seen that, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Hmm
I wouldn't have mind. I wouldn't have minded that fight, a while ago. But now, I mean, I don't even know how Golovkin is. I mean, he hasn't fought in over a year, and
Mm.
it's going to be ages till he comes back. We don't even know how Golovkin is. So, do you think Golovkin's still good enough to
Bill
win the third fight?
like
I don't. He's still dangerous, but
unless
I don't think he would beat Canelo.
What was
What did you
that?
say?
because I think that's gonna happen.
What did you say again, Stephen? We didn't quite get you.
Yeah, cutting out.
Stephen, your connection.
I'll cut out.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
connection was
cutting out.
funny.
Yeah, he's driving.
Yeah. Stephen, your connection's cutting off.
Okay.
Steven, your connection.
We
Yeah. So, Oracle, what's going on? Oracle, the Oracle. No, he's not there.
Hell, what happened here?
Ahmed, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Imran. How are you? How's everyone?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
What do you make of this Andrade and Canelo situation?
Uh, I think, to be honest with you, Canelo should be targeting the 175 division. I think if Andre does want it, he needs to come up to 175. And I think other than that, I think Canelo now really for his legacy should be calling for this Beterbiev fight now. You know.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying, man. I said, man, to be honest with you, just keeping it all the way real with you. Canelo, I mean, I don't want to see him fight Pablo, man. He need to go on up to 175 and see what Demetrius Bivol or what Beterbiev doing. Get his mate, because they gonna give it to him, man. And you really want something for your legacy, don't skip over them and go to to cruiserweight and fight Macabre. Don't do that. That's a sucker move to me. I'm gonna be real with you. That's a sucker move. It's suspect. That's suspect.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you think, Miguel?
Well, let's just remember what he said. He wants his fifth title, right? And that's what it's going to accomplish. That's what it's going to do. Get the fifth title in the cruiserweights. And then when he gets that,
so you want your fifth title, man.
Well, that's what he wants. He wants a legacy. If he gets that, if he beats Macabre, then he goes down the weight to 175. And then he's going to go for the undisputed championship right there.
But Miguel, Steven's basically saying there's no legacy by fighting Macabre. That's what he's saying.
But he's still but he's still a champion, though.
Yeah,
man,
that's
listen. He's still a champion. He's a champion. He's a cruiserweight champion.
I could go play ball.
I don't like the Macabre fight.
Listen, man, I could go play ball for my daughter's fifth grade basketball team, and we could win a title for that. But I'm cheating because it's weak opposition. It's a sucker move. It's a gimme. Everybody only know he gonna beat Macabre, man. Everybody know that.
But we don't know that until he's in the ring. I mean, we can say that on paper. We can say it outside the ring. But
if
when
you
he
go
gets into the ring,
if you go get in your car, you drive down to Vegas, and let's just hypothetically speaking, if this fight was announced and you went down to Vegas, the odds are going to be tremendously in favor of Canelo.
Of course. But
that would be like for most fights, though, Steven.
That's
if Canelo was to fight,
anybody,
the only guy that I can think of that he won't be a massive favorite against is probably Beterbiev. Everybody else should be a massive favorite for, wouldn't he? Canelo.
If he go to 175, and I guarantee you, the odds are gonna be in favor of Bivol. If you announce that fight, they're gonna favor Bivol.
What?
They're gonna favor him.
You think Canelo will be favorite against Bivol? I mean, sorry, Bivol will be favorite.
I think Bivol is gonna be favorite.
What? And the bookies?
Yeah, in the bookies, yeah.
Nah, Steven, trust me. Canelo will be a massive favorite in that fight. Maybe fans might see it. I think fans will see it closer, but the bookies ain't gonna put Canelo as underdog. No chance.
No, I bet you anything. If they not put him as an underdog, but they're gonna be them odds gonna be close, very close. Because you know what they handicap for? They handicap for a reason. Because they study the fights, they study the physiques, they study the every aspect of the fight. Stuff that we don't see. They count in. They take consideration.
I know that, and I don't see how they'd make Bivol a favorite in that fight. I know what they study. I know they will do all of that stuff. They see because obviously the bookies, right? They're in it to make money, right? So they're not gonna put they put odds on what they think is gonna happen. They analyze styles, they analyze resumes, they analyze everything. But
Yeah.
I just don't see them making Bivol a favorite against Canelo. Like,
You don't, Imran, you don't see it because you are obviously you favor Canelo. You think that Canelo's when you see Canelo, especially a guy like you very intelligent and you
mm,
have a high boxing IQ.
mm,
So when you evaluate these things, you see things in a fighter, especially the fighter that you like, those things are gonna be more pronounced to you because you
mm,
favor you like him. But I'm
mm,
saying an unbiased person, a handicapper, they call them handicapper for a reason.
mm,
They're gonna see things. They're gonna look at every aspect of the fight, and they're gonna make their assessment based off of what they see from an unbiased standpoint. They ain't gonna have none of that because Vegas is trying to make money. Caesar Palace, they trying to make money. They trying to
mm,
get your money, and they trying to make
mm.
as much money as they trying to maximize all that.
Hello? Oh, okay.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you, King. You all
Good,
right?
good.
I hope you're good, man. I hope you're good.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you guys think? Do you agree
I
with
think,
Steven that
I'm
if
sorry to
Bivol
cut
was
you
to
off,
fight
but
Canelo, that Canelo would be an underdog in that fight, according to the bookies?
I
I
don't think
think it'd
so.
be close. It'd be close on the odds. I think they would favor probably Canelo by 2 points.
And going back to Andrade, just like Canelo said, he wants payday. You want payday. That's it. Get him out of there.
That's that's what
Payday.
I'm gonna say.
You want
It's
He
never
payday.
want
gonna happen.
payday. You know what I mean? Get him out of there. I'd rather see Canelo. Well, they need to fight each other. Stop chasing Canelo around.
Hmm. What? Who needs to fight each other?
Early.
Charlo and
Andrade, Charlo, they need to deal with each other and leave Canelo alone. Canelo does what Canelo wants to do.
That's
Hmm.
the thing. That's the problem. They don't want to fight with each other.
I know. They want payday.
Like that's all they're
They
waiting
go
for. They wait.
payday.
That's all they're waiting for Canelo. Why?
Let's
Nobody
call
can
a
explain it.
spade, man. That's it.
Yeah,
That's what it
well,
is.
yeah, it
That
is paid. But why are they
payday.
waiting for him? I mean,
Hmm.
they can still make money. I mean, fighting other fighters or fighting each other, they can make good money.
Yo, can you
Fighting
hear
each
Yeah.
me,
other.
Imran?
Yeah, I can hear
I'm
you,
coming
man.
through,
I can hear you.
Imran.
They just
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just want that pot of
All
gold at
right,
the end of the
cool.
rainbow, that big pot.
Well, that's true. You might find a leprechaun around there, but yeah,
Exactly.
why not?
Guys, let me hold a debate. Let me get a
Go
debate in.
ahead.
I know people wanted me to talk about this. Um, Andre Ward and Canelo Alvarez, right? I did a video the other day and I got attacked. I'm saying I got absolutely attacked for saying that I think Canelo could have won that fight. I'm not even saying, I said Andre Ward would have been a favorite in that fight. And I got attacked on Facebook being called racist and all sorts
Oh
of
God.
stuff, man. I got attacked by some American fans. I was like, jeez. I never even said he'd win the fight. I said he could win the fight because
He
Canelo's
could win the
great,
fight.
right? And I ended up getting rich. What do you guys think? Like, I want to know your opinion. What do you guys? Do you
You're
think I'm
right.
completely wrong by saying it would be a competitive fight and it'd be a dangerous fight for Ward, or is it no contest? What do you guys think? Give your
No,
opinions. What
you're
do you
not
guys think?
completely
I
wrong.
think
It would be a great contest. And in America, as soon as you say anything, everybody likes to play the race. I mean, that's what it is over here. And it should be just boxing. We're just talking about boxing and fighting, you
Yeah.
know? Just that's it. Just boxing and fighting. Nothing else. You know what I mean? But
Imran,
I
that
think
point that
it'd be competitive. I mean, I don't know who would win at the prime. I think Canelo right now for sure at the prime,
Yeah.
but it'd be competitive nonetheless.
Imran, Imran, you made a
Yeah.
point in your video saying that
Yeah.
a good big man beats a smaller good man, and I think
Yeah.
Andre Ward's size will play a part into it, like you said in your video. And I think prime for prime, I'll give the edge to Andre Ward.
But here's
Mm.
the thing, though, Ahmed. Here's the thing. I even said in my video that Ward would obviously be a favorite in the fight because he's bigger. But don't you think, Ahmed, that Canelo would be dangerous for Ward?
Very.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Canelo will always be live in the fight.
Mm,
Will be competitive,
mm,
but with what I've seen of both of them, I can see Andre Ward in it. But Canelo will always be in the fight. Obviously, he's a great fighter, and it
But
will be
let's
close.
not forget that. Yeah, let's not forget that Canelo, even though Callum Smith and those guys were not as good, they were still big men, and Canelo dropped them quick. So let's not forget that
Yeah,
either.
but they lack the IQ of an Andre Ward, don't they?
Yeah,
IQ
but I'm
and
saying as pure size though.
Can someone please explain to me like this amazing IQ of Wendy Wood? Yeah, he is a smart fighter, but like I think people really overrate that. I mean, what is it? What's really smart that he does? But when he nut shots people, headbutts them, elbows them, what is it?
IQ is just
That's what I need to know
general.
here.
IQ is just general. Ring general shape. His feet, foot movement. Places where he needs to be, where he needs to avoid
Yeah, knowing
danger.
when to check a punch, knowing when a punch is coming.
Gets out of the pocket when he needs to.
What I've seen from him, when he's in an uncomfortable situation, he holds, headbutts, and nut punches. This is what he was doing to Kovalev.
Makai,
he showed no IQ in that fight. He was just being dirty. If
Makai,
that's
I'm
IQ,
gonna come back to you here, but I know Steven wants to make a point because he likes Andre Ward, thinks Andre Ward's a great fighter. We all think Andre Ward's a great fighter. But what do you think, Steve? Steve? I know you made your points in the video. I just found it kind of laughable that a lot of people seem to think that like fair enough. I agree, Ward's a great fighter, and I just don't think anyone can get in the ring with Canelo when you say and anyone can say it's an easy fight, man. Like this Canelo right now, do you think that anyone will get in the ring with him and it'd just be a cakewalk?
Nah, man, not with Canelo, man. But I did want to say that I do identify with you in your struggles of being attacked savagely, viciously, because it hurts, man. It hurts. We ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing but kicking them docs knowledge, and then they come at you, and then they tear you down. Sometimes it does get to you, but see me, I become callous. I become immune to it. But man, as far as Andre Ward and Canelo, man, you know what? I may have just made my point. Gonna be a great small little man any day of the week, and we ain't talking about. And then okay, so and I was talking about the Super Six, and you tried to debunk that. Here's the thing: everybody in the Super Six, Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham, Alan Green, Jermaine Taylor, who else?
There was Jermaine Taylor.
Straight.
Jermaine Taylor did Jermaine Taylor fight Andre Ward? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. He got put out before. He got put out.
In my opinion,
what I'm saying, but
Canelo beats Ward.
Go ahead.
After the Super Series, he fought Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson was a very good fighter. I think Canelo and Chad Dawson would have been a tough fight.
Chad Dawson, didn't Andre Ward make him come down a weight? That's why he couldn't even take a flipping punch.
Yeah, I think there was something. I don't think Chad Dawson was at his best in that fight.
Yeah,
there was something
Ward literally made him come down.
Nobody, nope. Who's that? I don't know who that is. We're talking about Canelo, right? That's the title of the video. Canelo will beat Ward. Canelo's too superior. He has a high IQ. He's too strong. He will beat him, and then people will say it's fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
I concur.
Just like what they did with Kovalev.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Ward was a different. He was a different type of fighter. I don't know whether it would be as easy as what you're thinking there.
If people think Ward would win easy, he'd only win easy if the ref allowed Ward to headbutt, do his nut shots that he loves doing so much.
Yeah.
Canelo needs to get Benavidez.
Makai, you're not a big fan of Ward.
Yeah, because I saw this video of him a week ago. Just the blatant. I mean, I swear to God, I once seen him fully elbow someone in the face, and it was so intentional. I just saw the videos of him just doing dirty stuff like that, and it just made me hate him even more.
If Canelo got Benavidez out of there, like knocked him out, and maybe beat like Charlo or Andrade and stop them, then they would, a lot of people will be hushed. That'd be it. He needs to do that. I mean, he don't need to do that. He can do whatever he wants, obviously. But if he was to do those things, those two things, then
I think to make people hush, he'll have to be Bivol and Beterbiev, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think if he beats Bivol and
oh,
Beterbiev,
he'll be beat. Bev has no chance against Canelo at all.
yeah, I don't know what Steven sees in Bivol, man. I've seen this guy fight so many times.
I
Bivol's
know
good.
Bivol was so bad, and
I agree with Steven to some extent because Bivol does everything right. If you watch his fight, look at his
But
footwork.
Ahmed, he's got no power. He's got no power.
Imran,
He can't beat Canelo like
Imran,
that.
do you think
He needs like 20 rounds to beat Canelo.
I'll box Canelo for
Imran, do you think Canelo beats Bivol?
You're not going to get like Canelo.
Yes,
easy. You're not going to dismantle Canelo, are you?
No.
You have to literally
No, but
do a
he's
Mayweather on him.
capable of beating Canelo over 12 rounds.
Yeah, but you're going to have to beat him well.
Who picks
You're gonna have
Bivol?
to
Who
beat
picks
well.
Bivol to beat Canelo? Who picks Bivol to win that fight?
Steven said that he thinks that Bivol
Steven's
wins
right.
against.
He is right. Bivol would beat Canelo, so would Beterbiev.
Do you really think? I don't know, man.
Bivol and Beterbiev
I
would beat Canelo.
think
Why do you think Canelo chose Kovalev, but not Bivol? And then he vacated the belt. And now he's trying to talk about Joe Smith. Like,
Look,
to me, it doesn't even seem like
I don't know,
I mean,
guys, man. I need to say
this.
I've seen
When
Bivol
when
fight.
he wanted
anything
to try and
special,
fight
man.
Bivol,
Canelo
Steven,
beats him
tell
all.
me what you see. Tell me what you see. I've seen Bivol fight now a couple of times. I don't think this. I don't see a fighter that beats Canelo. Beterbiev, yes, he could beat Canelo 100%.
Imran, yeah, but Bivol, he's looked good every round. He's won all the rounds. He doesn't need to
But
he hasn't got the power.
Though, man, I saw him against Richards. He looked terrible.
I mean, did you see what he done to Joe Smith Jr., who's the champ now, by the way? He's got a
Yeah,
belt.
but like
I mean,
Canelo
he's got
would
very
dismantle
underrated
Joe
wins.
Smith as well.
Bivol,
Joe Smith wouldn't beat Canelo, would he?
Big puncher. Joe Smith Jr. could be a tough fight for Canelo
No,
as
but
well.
here's the thing. If people were saying the other day, Canelo said he was going to fight Joe Smith, and everyone's saying, well, Joe Smith's a weaker champion.
Nah, Joe Smith ain't no weak champion. Joe Smith ain't no weak champion.
He's
Joe
the
Smith-
weakest, he's the weakest link.
Isn't that what people were saying?
He's the weakest link out of
Oh,
Bivol and
now he's going
Beterbiev.
for a weaker champion at 175.
He's the weakest link, but he's not a weak champion. He's just the weakest link.
He's got
out
some
of
good
Bivol
power, though.
and
Yeah.
He's
Beterbiev.
got
Yeah,
some good power.
yeah, he can punch, man.
I like I said, man, I'm not like I seen Bivol's last fight and the one like the Richards fight. Yeah, it's not impressive. He's not looking that impressive. I don't. Can he?
He knows how to fight. He knows how to fight long. He's got the feet and everything. He's a smart fighter. I think he'd. I think he'd beat Canelo.
Bivol could beat Beterbiev as well.
He could. He
Yeah,
could.
he
if
beat
he's-
Beterbiev.
I don't think so.
He could. I don't see that, but he definitely could.
I don't think so, man.
He could.
I don't think so. Beterbiev's too strong. He's too big.
Bivol's got power when he actually uses it. He just doesn't.
And-
He's a bit like Andrade. He doesn't go for the finish.
And Bivol's good at making adjustments. I've noticed in his fights.
Yeah.
I don't
Very
know,
good.
guys.
Bivol's a
I'm
killer.
not so high on Bivol like you guys are. I don't know. I've heard few people talk about him as well, and they're not too high on. I don't know, man. He doesn't look that impressive at the minute. We got to see him step up against someone. I don't fancy him against Canelo. Maybe like Beterbiev. Now we're talking. That's why I won that fight. Beterbiev's a monster for me. I don't know.
But Beterbiev's shown us some weakness to the body, and that's perfect for Canelo. Coming inside the arm and hitting him underneath. So he's got a better chance against Beterbiev, I think, than Bivol.
But isn't Bivol the similar type of fighter that we've been seeing Canelo fighting?
No, no way. Absolutely not. Like Bivol, he knows how to use his range. He's got the feet. He's actually a smart fighter. He's generally a smart fighter as well. He knows what he's doing. He hasn't had to change gear because I mean, he has got good wins. He hasn't had to.
The only giveaway that Bivol did was silly thing was saying I'll come down to 168 to fight Canelo, and
Thank God
now
he didn't fight
if they do
Canelo
have
at
a fight,
168.
if they do have a fight, Canelo will, he might just pull some clothes on him or something.
And you know what? You know what else too, man? For anybody that's saying that, just right out the bat, I'm just address this because I've heard this on this panel right here. Anybody that's saying that Canelo will I don't know who these other guys, but Canelo will beat them all. Get more informed about boxing. If you ever seen Demetrius Bivol fight or Beterbiev fight, then don't say who could beat who. You know what I'm saying?
I do know who they
research.
I know who they are, and I know that. I know who they are. They're all Canelo's little sons. Canelo has his daycare. They're all.
How can they be Canelo's sons if he hasn't beaten them yet? That makes no sense.
My point is Canelo beats them all, and they have to fight each other. The thing is, they're just looking for a payday. They're turning down fights.
Okay, even if they are looking for a payday, this still doesn't.
Yeah,
make us think that Canelo beats Bivol. Like Bivol still wins. If he
does beat Bivol. He does beat Bivol, and he probably will beat Beterbiev too. He beats them all. I'm telling you, that's why they need to fight each other.
Do you think he stops them all, or do you think 12 round?
Yes, most likely. He knocks out Bivol, and he can possibly knock out Beterbiev too.
But how come when there was talks of him fighting Bivol, why did the negotiations stop?
I saw a video. I don't know if it's true. I'm not a expert. I don't care about all that. I just want to watch good fights on IBFP where Canelo offered Beterbiev a fight before in the past, and apparently he had something else going on. So just like he offered Andrade a fight too, they were trying to make a fight with Boo Boo, but they had something going on. They didn't allow it.
No offense to IBFP, he loves Canelo. That's all he talks about on his channel. He's a Canelo fanboy. I don't listen to that guy.
Oh, so he's lying?
Man, IBFP.
Well, he says, facts. These are facts right here.
So
he doesn't do all the facts.
He's lying about Canelo offering Boo Boo a fight and Beterbiev a fight. You can't believe it, just like you couldn't believe the Kovalev fight.
He didn't offer Beterbiev a fight because Beterbiev
right, Imran. You hear this, Imran? You hear this? Canelo can't do enough for these people. You hear this? Come on, now.
Okay. Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? Right.
My goodness.
Not you, Imran. I was talking to the other guy.
One sec, guys. Before we get back onto this, let me get onto this point. Someone asking who you guys are. So we got Steven in the right-hand bottom corner there. We've got Oracle right next to Steven. We got Ahmed. We got me, the third one. We got Makai, and we got Miguel in the top left. And just to answer Mike's question, I'll put this to Steven. Andrade, Charlo, and David need to shut the hell up. They want to cement their legacies. Why don't they move up and fight guys at light heavyweight? All of them are bigger, taller, and have longer reach than Canelo. Boom.
But it's easy. It's easy to fight Makabu. Oh, we know he's going to win that fight. It's easy. But they won't do it. Come on now, they just want to payday. No, I'm talking not you. I'm talking about Sam, Charlo, Benavidez, all of them. They'll say, "Oh, why is he going to fight Makabu?" But they're not doing it. How if it's so easy?
You know what? You make my day, dude. You bring me a lot of enjoyment. You do, man.
Right, can I come back to the? Can I go back to the Beterbiev thing anyway?
I give you one sec.
I just need to say something.
Gone. But Makai, answer that question that Mike T said. Andrade, Charlo, and David, and then we can go back to Beterbiev. They wanted their legacies. They don't want to move up and fight the guys at light heavyweight. All of them are bigger, taller, and have longer reach than Canelo.
I think it's the punch power of light heavyweights. Why they don't want to go to light heavyweight,
and they don't have the discipline to do that. They don't have the discipline
Canelo's
to do that.
Smaller. Canelo's moving up there.
They ain't put in the work Canelo put in.
But
why do you think, guys?
It's a tough division. It's a tough division, light heavyweight. The punch order. That's one of the main reasons, and I think even Canelo, he struggled at light heavyweight himself against Kovalev. It's not easy, but I think that's one of the reasons. They just want to stay in the division and wait for the payday.
Yeah, I'd agree, man. I'd agree. They're looking for that. They're looking for payday, man. They're looking for a payday. You know what Joe Smith said? Joe Smith said that I'd rather fight Bivol or Beterbiev than fight Canelo. I want legacy over money.
I don't think that's true, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
if
think that's
you
true
know,
either. I think that's
If Canelo
nonsense.
actually
But
presented it to him, he saw the money,
yeah,
the
Canelo-
legacy will go out the window. I think he'd want to get the money. I mean, all the fighters that want to fight Canelo, of course they want the payday. It's fairly obvious. Like, there's only some fighters that you can see that, you know, they do actually want. They don't mind fighting others. You know, like Beterbiev, he still does want to fight other guys. He doesn't. He's not just waiting for Canelo. It's only Andrade and Charlo who I'm seeing that's actually waiting for Canelo, but he's not actually trying to fight others. I mean, Benavidez, he is trying to fight other guys. He's trying to fight Plant. He's trying to fight Charlo, but Charlo's being a pussy. You know, there's loads.
Miguel, what do you think? What do
Go
you
ahead.
think? What do you think?
What am I think? Yeah, well, all those boxers that you mentioned, like I said,
Yeah.
they don't want to fight each other, right? They just want to pay them, plain and simple. Why they can, you know, that like somebody says they're, you know, they're tall enough and they can put up the weight. They can go up a division, 2 divisions if they wanted to. But why they don't want to do that? Maybe, because the other guys hit harder, because they might be afraid to lose. Is that's what the scare of? I don't know. But, you know, Canelo hasn't been afraid. He just goes up. That's the thing. He moves up and conquers the division, which he did at 168. Now he wants to fight Makabu. Fine. Everybody says the weak link. Well, yeah, fine. But still, he's still a champion, still a cruiserweight. He still has some power on him, right? I mean,
If you're pound for pound number one guy, surely you want to go from the best guy though in each weight class, right?
Well,
I mean, it doesn't seem like he's doing that.
You know, the thing is, to me, I think Canelo is trying to see how he feels at that weight to fight. Not, I don't call a weekend champion. It out, see how he. So he's gonna try now.
Maybe,
if he beats him, if he feels comfortable with, you know, if he feels comfortable at that weight, he can stay there, or he can go down to 175 and can go against Beterbiev.
But Miguel,
yes,
it's not practical for Canelo to go to cruiserweight and fight the best fighter there. He's so small.
Well,
it's ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous. Like the best fighter there is like 6'6", 6'5". Canelo's 5'7". They weigh 30, 40 pounds bigger than him. He's gonna go there. If he goes to cruiserweight, like, you can't move up so much weight and fight the best guy. It's very dangerous. Canelo has to pick and choose at the higher weight classes.
I think they allow him at 182, 185. Canelo can move up.
Yeah,
right?
So
how do we know though?
That's stupid. That Canelo Canelo's not stupid, right? He's very intelligent. He's not going to go up there and fight some monsters when he's undersized. It would be silly. Everyone cherry picks when they move up weight. Floyd Mayweather cherry picked at welterweight, not because he was a cherry picker, because of the fact that the guys were bigger, and Mayweather knew. Like, Mayweather was a killer early on in his career. He was fighting everyone. He fought everyone at 135, right? He was fighting all the dudes. But when he moved up, every fighter cherry picks. No one goes up to, like, Roy Jones. He didn't fight Mike Tyson. He fought John Ruiz when he was heavyweight. What? No one talks about that. Nobody talks about Roy Jones not fighting Mike Tyson, fighting John Ruiz, right?
But Imran, John Ruiz did beat Evander Holyfield, so he was a respectable opponent.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no, but he beat who? Sorry,
Evander Holyfield.
Evander.
Yeah, okay. But what I mean is, he wasn't the best heavyweight at that point, right?
Yeah.
Was he?
No, he wasn't the best.
The top 10?
He was the top 5. He was the top 5 heavyweight.
Right? Top 5?
Yeah. Okay. But what I'm saying is, Makabu's a champion as well. Isn't Makabu a champion?
Yeah.
And he has
Makabu's
28 knockouts.
Yes.
So it's not like Canelo's completely a cherry picking pup. You know, like
no, he's not
cherry picking he's fighting a champion. So my point is that Roy Jones went up to heavyweight, and Roy Jones was massive compared to Canelo. Canelo's 5'7", 5'8". Roy Jones was 6 foot, 6'1". He was a big dude. Roy Jones was.
He was only 5'10".
Imran, I can tell you
Roy
exactly
Jones,
why.
Ahmed, Roy Jones wasn't 5'10". He's
5'10" or 5'11", maximum 5'11".
He's foot, man. He's 6 foot. I'm telling you, Roy Jones was big, and he was big. His body was big as well. Roy Jones, Canelo's not as big as Roy Jones, is he? Be honest, Ahmed.
No, Roy Jones is a lot bigger than Canelo.
He's a lot bigger. Canelo started off
especially with the steroids in his system.
Light welterweight. Roy Jones started off as a middleweight. It was, I think.
Yo, Imran, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, my bad.
We can hear.
We got a lot of people in the live stream, so yeah, guys. I'll come to Rivalry. What do you make of what's being said?
Can you ask the question one more time?
So basically, what we were talking about Canelo and Andrade, but then we started talking about the fact that when you move up weight classes, everyone cherry picks, right? Nobody goes up. Like Canelo can't go up to cruiserweight and start fighting the killers at cruiserweight. They're too big. So if Canelo goes up to cruiserweight or heavyweight, he's not going to fight the best guys. He's going to cherry, I said, Roy Jones fought John Ruiz at heavyweight. John Ruiz wasn't the best heavyweight, right? He wasn't Mike Tyson. But you can't expect Roy Jones to go up to heavyweight and fight Mike Tyson. That would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah, that is true. But I did overhear one of the guys say that they just want to fight Canelo because of a payday.
Yeah. I think that was. I think that I can't remember who said that.
Which, yeah, to me, no disrespect, but that's a ridiculous statement because the whole point is called prize fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys are putting their lives on the line. You're gonna want to fight the guy that gives you the highest payday. Like that's the whole point.
Good point. Very good point.
But you gotta earn. You gotta earn being a prize fighter.
Hold up. That nonsense about fighting for legacy, that's bullshit. All these guys are fighting for money. Don't ever let that shit fool you.
I agree.
You're not legacy doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah, well, nobody said they're not fighting for money. Nobody said that, right?
So, like, of course they want to fight Canelo.
Every professional wants money.
Also, by the way, one more point. Just because they fight each other is not a guarantee they don't get a Canelo fight. There's nowhere where it says, "Oh, guys,
yes,
guess what? If you fight each other,
to be honest, that's
no,
true. I mean,
Canelo does not owe them a fight.
He did fight Rocky Fielding. He didn't fight
Canelo does not owe them a fight. He doesn't owe them anything. So he's not.
It's because
you got a good point. You got a good point.
It's because Roy Jones Jr. wasn't as big of a star as Canelo, and Canelo's a handsome ginger, so they're gonna be mad.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. That was. I mean, if you want to marry Canelo and have his children go by your own way,
it all makes sense now.
But we're talking about boxing.
It all makes sense now.
It is prize fighting.
Statement.
It is prize fighting, and these guys don't want to.
What you're saying is spot on. There is prize fighting, but when you say they've not earned it, I do agree with what Rivalry says as well, because a lot of fighters that some of the fighters that Canelo fought, they didn't earn it either. So,
what do you mean? They were champions, weren't they? Weren't they champions?
Yildirim wasn't champion.
He was a mandatory.
How did he earn that mandatory?
Is it true that
he was mandatory when Benavidez had the belt?
Right.
Oh, how did a guy that lost 2 times get mandatory?
Yes. Talk to the WBC. Talk to the WBC and why they made Yildirim Benavidez mandatory.
So the guy who's really friends with Canelo, what's his name? Wasalam, whatever his name is. Mauricio Sulaiman.
See, here you go again. Here you go again, dude. Here you go again. Canelo didn't even have the belt. Canelo did not have the belt when Yildirim was made the WBC mandatory for Benavidez. Benavidez couldn't stay out of Taco Bell and lost his belt. Okay,
but don't you see
so that doesn't change. That doesn't change Yildirim's status as a mandatory. It doesn't change it. So Canelo inherited. Canelo inherited.
Sulaiman said Canelo asked Yildirim to be his mandatory.
You got that from Boxing 24 News, which lied about that. That's where you got that news from.
He's on the interview.
You got that from Boxing 24 News.
I can drop the video right now.
Go read, then drop it.
Okay, how do I do that?
I don't know. I tried to do it on you before, and I couldn't figure it out.
People just need to accept that it's Canelo's era. He's the best boxer in the world, and you're gonna have to keep
Anyway,
showing
look,
him.
Suleiman literally said on video, Canelo asked by the way, his former sparring partner Yildirim to be his mandatory.
Yeah, post link. Don't post the Boxing 24 link either, because that was a lie. That was already been proven. So again, Yildirim was the mandatory when Benavidez had the belt. Now, if Canelo would have said, "Hey, I want a different mandatory," then you would have came back and said, "Oh, you know what? Canelo had a mandatory, but he requested to have another mandatory." That's not Yildirim. It doesn't matter. In your eyes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change it. You're still gonna find a reason to denigrate it.
He made a deal with
regardless, look, it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. Yildirim was the mandatory when Benavidez had the belt. If Benavidez would have fought Yildirim, trust me, this dude wouldn't have a problem with it. If Yildirim would have fought anyone else, this dude wouldn't have a problem with it. So the thing is, just like this guy says, people come on with narratives. That's this guy's narrative.
It was this. Canelo made a deal with the WBC saying if they let him fight Callum Smith first, the unification, then the winner has to fight Yildirim. Nothing's wrong with what Canelo done with Yildirim. It was his mandatory. Nothing was wrong with that.
And the thing is that Canelo fought the number one guy that Benavidez does. If you look, Smith was trying to make a fight with Benavidez, and Benavidez turned it down. Plant tried to make a fight with Benavidez. Benavidez turned it down. So I don't know. I don't know why these guys can't be consistent. No fighter is above criticism. No one. But the stuff that these clowns come with, it's just it's absurd. And the thing is, I don't understand why the panel doesn't throw facts at this dude. This dude doesn't support boxing. He just doesn't do it. You know? And that's the thing. If we're gonna have a panel, let's deal with facts. No fighter is above criticism. There's not one fighter out there that doesn't have criticism. Crawford gets criticism for his opponents. I criticize Usyk for fighting Bellew because Bellew came off the couch. Doesn't mean I don't like Usyk, but that's a criticism. He could have defended his belts, all of his cruiserweight belts against a mandatory, but he didn't. He fought Bellew. Cool, all right. Canelo should have fought Andrade. He should have fought him. Regardless of what people say, he should have fought him. It didn't happen. I hope it happens. But check this out. When Canelo went to fight Rocky Fielding, how many of these dudes like Rare Breed hated on that? Let's see who Andrade is gonna fight at 168, because we already know Andrade is ducking Yanni Beck, Alim Kanuli.
Thank you. Oh my god, I thought I was the only one that was saying that.
And guys, I'm gonna put you guys.
Campos.
Yeah.
But that Janibek fight, okay, forget that a second. I want to see Andrade fight Charlo. Why can't we get that fight? The Janibek fight, right? It's a tough fight for Andrade, but that's an irrelevant fight. We want to see Charlo fight Andrade. That's the fight the fans want to see, right?
Okay, Imran, you answered that already. It's prize fighting. These dudes aren't going to fight each other because they're going to fight for the biggest prize. And the way they get the biggest prize is by keeping their O intact. Okay, that's how they do it.
I get what you're saying, but if Andrade is forced to fight Janibek, who's mandatory, isn't it prize fighting for him to fight Charlo, who'd be a much bigger payday than fighting Janibek, who's tough, and it's not going to be a big payday?
Well, you're assuming that Andrade would fight Yanni Beck, which he's not, and it's already out there that he's vacating and going to 168. Okay, ask Andre.
I reckon he would stay there if he gets the Charlo fight.
Hey,
well, Charlo has to accept the fight as well.
Hey,
Charlo has to accept the fight.
How do I leave a link on the chat?
Just put it in the YouTube in the YouTube chat. Just leave a link there, or you can leave it after once the video's up. Then you can leave a link in the comments. And Campos comes in the comments anyway, so he'll see it.
I'll
Okay,
see it, and
I'll leave it, and I'll
I'll
leave it in
and
the
I'll leave.
YouTube. I'll leave it in the YouTube
Yeah.
chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll look.
But
I'll go back on the chat when it's over, and I'll click on the link.
right, Rare Breed. I want to ask you, why aren't Andrade and Charlo fighting? You there, Rare Breed?
Hey guys,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
put you guys on mute. I gotta go do something real quick. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Nelson, what's going on, my man?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's always great hearing Nelson, man. Your voice is really soothing. You know what I mean? You're like that calm. You're like, when there's a storm, you're like that calm in the storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. That's actually, yeah. Well, thank you for that.
When everything's kicking off, you're always like calm. Like no matter what, you're calm. I like that. I like that. But yeah,
I
Nelson, what do you
appreciate that.
make of these guys, man? These guys like Andrade and Charlo, two American undefeated champions, not fighting each other, not giving us fans good fights, man, or not giving us the fights we want to see. What do you make of that?
And not giving themselves the opportunity
To be great, yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's what you got into the business for, is to fight. You gotta take a risk. It's about taking risks. And it doesn't seem like anybody want to do that. That's why a guy like Jake Paul, who's a regular YouTuber, can come into the business and make some money, because it's ironic that a YouTuber is willing to take risks and fighters ain't. And afraid to lose, you should have chosen another business path, another career path.
Can I ask a question?
Go on, Red Breed.
Other than Usyk, and maybe Josh Taylor, what other fighters are really taking risks nowadays?
Yeah, I know.
Those guys are taking real risks.
I mean, you're forgetting about other guys, like Triple Tito, guys like that.
Okay.
Who don't get spoke about, yeah. Not really a lot more.
Okay. Because I hope that little soliloquy he just made, I hope he wasn't talking about Canelo, because he's not taking any real risks. The last time he took a risk was Triple G. That's the guy that could actually beat him. The last couple of guys he's beaten had no shot in hell of beating him. You know it, and I know it.
But you're convincing. Are you convincing yourself?
No, that's a fact. Caleb Plant, based on his resume,
I don't know who he's saying it to.
Caleb Plant, I'm talking to the guy who was just done speaking.
Oh, okay.
He's talking to Nelson.
Yes, okay. Nelson.
Yes, is he Nelson. Or is he? Is he or is it himself? I mean, because it's been a while since we had a fighter of this stature take as many risks as this case taken. It's really.
But what risk has he taken? Did you think Caleb Plant could actually legitimately beat Canelo?
No, but given the size, there's always a risk at that weight where one punch can change everything, man.
The size to me, Canelo is short, but he's not small.
He's big he's big mentally. He understands the game better.
Yeah, it's like Tank Davis.
He's using a lot of energy.
It's kind of like Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. Leo is taller and longer, but he's not as big as Tank.
No, Leo Santa Cruz seems very fragile. He's not as steady,
Yeah.
Seems like a fragile.
Caleb Plant does not have the power to hurt Canelo.
Oh, and look, I heard you say something. Look, I heard you say something, Rebbe. You said something about legacy is all BS, right?
Yes.
And that everybody fights for money. And
yes.
Let me help you out, man. When you work for a legacy, the bio product is the money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
yes.
Go tell Michael Jordan, that he played basketball, right? And it was just for money. See what he tells you.
I think I think for the cameras, he's going to tell you, "Oh, I did it for the glory. I did it for the legacy." But truthfully, behind closed scenes, it was for the money. Because I'm telling you, let me tell you
No, but
something.
here's the thing.
When
Here,
you're
Rabri, here's
suffering,
the thing.
uh-huh.
You look at Canelo. Do you think he's fighting for money now? He's got so much money. He's
No.
now there's only so many things money can buy, right? Now Canelo's got a lot of money. So is he fighting for money now, or is he fighting for legacy? Because he's financially sorted for life. Like it doesn't matter.
I'd
Canelo
say he's
doesn't have
fighting
to
for
work
both.
for in his entire
He
life.
still has some
So
work
what
to
is he
do on
doing?
that
Fighting for
legacy.
legacy or money?
Well, let me in my opinion, I think he does want the legacy, but he wants to do it the easy way. That's just my opinion. So, to me, being undisputed and belts does not mean as much as the fighters you face. The fighters you fight is more important than belts and being undisputed. Because you can have all the undisputed and belts all you want, but to really build your legacy, you got to beat the guys that are considered the best of your era. For
Rabbi, can I
example,
ask you this?
yes,
Who are the fighters that you respect and that are actually doing it properly?
Josh Taylor,
yeah.
Usyk,
yeah.
Crawford. Crawford gets a lot of flack, but a lot of people don't want to fight him. He can't force these guys to fight him, but he's willing to fight anybody, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Who else? I think I'm not sure about Inoue.
No, Inoue is one. Yeah, he wants to fight the guys.
Yeah,
Inoue should be on the list.
Stephen, the guy at 122, Stephen Fulton, he's trying to become undisputed, and he's talking about fighting Shakur Stevenson at 130 eventually. He seems to want to fight the best. Yeah, those guys.
Okay, then I
here's the
can
thing.
kind of
Here's the
accept
thing,
them
though,
what you're
Rabri.
saying because you're not
Let me. Here's the thing, Rabri. Nelson made a good point. So you're giving Josh Taylor credit for fighting everybody at 140, but you're not giving Canelo credit for fighting the champions at 168. How does that work?
The best guy but he hasn't fought the best at 168.
But who's the
best guy at 168?
What are we basing that off?
David Benavidez.
No, but what are we basing that off? How do you know Benavidez would beat Smith, Billy Joe, and Caleb Plant? What are we basing that off?
I know for a fact he would beat Caleb Plant. You know how I know? Watch that Usyk fight versus.
Why did he?
Watch that fight, Usyk versus Caleb Plant again. It basically went the same way it did against Canelo. He looked all cute in the beginning with his little movement, making him miss. But towards the end of the fight, Usyk started tagging him up and almost, was if he had more power, he would have got him out of there. It would go the same way with David.
If you think Benavidez is the best, then that's your opinion. That's my opinion too. I think Benavidez is the best, but I don't think we can hold Canelo to that because he wasn't actually the best guy in that division when he came in. He wasn't actually a number one ranked guy. This is just opinions. Mine and your opinion is Benavidez is the best guy, but we can't say Canelo's stuck in him.
Well,
we can't just say
all I know is Canelo. He didn't seem very keen to go to 168 when David was holding the belts. Or holding
That's
a belt.
true. Yeah, he never did speak about.
Rabri, you know this same energy that people now have for Benavidez to Canelo. You know that there was the same energy towards Callum Smith. People said that Canelo don't want to fight Callum Smith because he's tall, long.
Same with Billy Joe as well. They were saying he was like in Billy Joe Saunders. That was going on for like
weren't they saying the same about Billy Joe?
Billy
Joe's got style
4 years.
Issues.
But wait. Who was? Let's be honest. Who was asking for this fight? Boxing fans worldwide or UK fans?
Oh, worldwide. A lot of people wanted that Canelo Saunders fight. That's why it sold out.
All US fans, but even Teddy Atlas said that the fight between Billy Joe and Canelo ain't gonna be easy for Canelo.
Well, for whatever reason, Canelo.
A lot of people said.
Canelo, for whatever reason, Canelo seems to love fighting fighters from the UK.
Well,
just like Ward.
Come on.
Just like Ward. Then
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, brother.
Are you saying
just like Ward?
British fighters are weak? Then is that what you're kind of saying?
I'm saying that I think Canelo views the UK fighters as easy work.
the same way Ward
But he
did.
fought Caleb Plant, who's American. So like,
Ward
you can't just say
Ward
British
fought
fighters.
Crotch. That guy is a future Hall of Famer.
Wait, what did you say?
Who?
He fought Crotch. A
Yes,
future
that
Hall of
guy.
Famer.
Paul Smith as well. He
Callum-
fought Paul Smith as well, Callum Smith's older brother.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Ward
There you
loves-
go.
Paul Smith as
There
well.
you go. You just
Okay,
You just
but
proved
also
our
you
point.
got to give Ward credit. He fought Kovalev in his prime. Kovalev was
okay,
like
okay.
number 2. Kovalev was number 2.
Didn't
Was
Ward
number
cheat?
2 pound for pound at that time,
Didn't
right?
Ward cheat though? Didn't Ward lose that first fight? And didn't he cheat in the second one? He was cheating in all the fights.
Yes,
Nut
yes.
shots, headbutt, elbows.
There's a
like,
good
the guy's
argument.
So dirty.
You're
So
correct.
He did beat Kovalev, in my opinion. I don't think he did. He was being dirty. If
You're
we're actually
correct.
talking- yeah.
No,
Nah,
but that's not the
I
point.
don't know, Makai. I don't know about cheating. That's a bit too
He
much,
cheated.
man.
Imran,
I don't
No,
know.
he
I don't
cheated.
think Ward was-
I'll send
I
you the
think he was-
video.
I think at times he could be dirty, but that's part of boxing, really.
Can I respond to that
No,
real
he
quick?
For
cheated.
me, anyway.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go on.
So whether
Yeah,
you
go
think he cheated, or lost the fight, he took the fight. And at that time, Kovalev was at his most dangerous. He was a pound for pound fighter. When's the last time Canelo fought a pound for pound fighter other than Triple G?
Yeah, but no, but here's the thing.
That's the thing, though. But Benavidez, Charlo, Andrade, they're not pound
Who
for pound
did
either.
Ward fight that was a pound for pounder?
Hold on.
They're not pound for pound fighters, but they're a lot closer than those guys.
What's it called? Kovalev. Hey?
Yeah, I
Froch,
keep hearing.
Listen, I'm from the UK. I know about Carl Froch. Froch wasn't a top 3 or pound for pound fighter. He was a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but
Especially when he fought Ward.
He was like an Amir Khan level fighter. You know, he wasn't an all-time great or nothing. He was a good fighter. You know what I mean? He had a great career, but he's viewed like he's a good fighter. That's it. He's not Froch. He fought Kessler. Kessler was another one, a good fighter. You know, but Ward didn't fight. The great fighter that he fought and beat was Kovalev, right? The rest were they weren't. They were
okay.
good fighters. You know
And
what I
he
mean?
had
Like
to- and he had to
Chad
cheat.
Dawson was a decent.
Kessler.
Chad Dawson was
That
a
was a
decent one.
catch weight. Chad Dawson was a catch
Chad
weight.
Dawson was a great fighter.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he made Chad Dawson come
was
down.
a great fighter, no doubt about
Well-
it. But was Chad Dawson at his best when Ward fought him?
Nope.
No.
Catch weight.
Well, unfortunately for Andre Ward, he fought in an era where the competition wasn't as good as him or as it could be.
Yeah.
I think he's a great fighter,
Yeah.
but he didn't have the opponents to really show it.
The
No,
only
he
thing
is a
with
great
Ward,
fighter.
The only thing
He's
with
a
Ward
great
that I didn't
fighter,
like is that
without
you know Lucian Buter, he
And
didn't
I
go
personally think if Canelo had fought Andre Ward would have been a favorite in that fight, without question.
Yeah.
I agree.
He would have been a favorite to beat Canelo.
I agree.
I don't buy the narrative that Andre Ward would have just cakewalked Canelo. No,
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
Canelo would be, in my opinion, his hardest fight. Bar Kovalev, that would be his hardest fight at 168.
Maybe.
Unless you think Froch, Kovalev, and all those guys beat Canelo, which they don't, in my opinion. That would be his hardest fight at 168.
I mean, that's the thing about boxing. You never know. It could be his hardest fight. It could also be his easiest fight. You just never know.
I mean on paper, Red Breed. I mean on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on paper.
Rare breed, but the thing is though,
Like
with
when you look at what Canelo's done.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Yeah, I wanted to ask because Campos, you wanted me to have a Canelo Ward debate, right?
Right.
Let's have it. Who would have won that
Well,
fight? Who's greater?
I would
Give me
favor
your
Ward
opinions,
because Ward. I don't see Ward fighting outside of Oakland for that fight. Number two, if you
he would be the B side for that.
I don't see Ward taking the fight
against Canelo.
I don't know if Canelo would do that.
You don't think he'd
fight
take
in
the
Oakland.
fight?
I don't know. I don't know because Ward loved fighting in Oakland. So the other thing is the Ward that fought Kovalev, Kovalev, that was a very dirty fight, Imran. I can send you video. That was I don't see Canelo beating that Ward. Ward is too crafty. Too crafty. And that's why I would favor Ward to win the fight. Canelo's never fought someone that fights that way. Below the belt, elbows, headbutts. Canelo hasn't
Thank
fought
you.
anyone like
I
that.
thought I was the only one that was saying this. Like,
No,
there's literally
dude,
him
Ward was a
blatantly
dude.
elbowing guys.
When Ward went to the Super Six, what was the main complaint about Ward? He's a dirty fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Now he never did it to the level that he fought Kovalev. He never did it to that level. But look how many nut punches. Look how many flying elbows. Look how many headbutts. There's people out there that actually counted them, and it's in the double digits. So Canelo doesn't beat that guy. And then especially in Oakland, I don't see Ward. Ward didn't fight Adonis Stevenson, right? Look at the reasons where they wanted to have the fight. Ward will not fight Canelo outside of Oakland. I don't see the fight happening. And if the fight happens, Ward would nut punch, headbutt, flying elbow Canelo to a win.
Didn't Andre Ward to turn down Lucian Bute because Lucian Bute wanted it in his hometown, and obviously Ward didn't want to do that. Yeah,
that was on. Hey guys, I need to go on mute. I got to do something. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
All right, cool. Nelson, what's your point on Canelo and Ward?
Tough fight for both guys. A lot of cleaning up for Canelo. He's got to clean Ward up, because Ward does get a little messy and there, loses his classiness. Ward decision and Canelo maybe 10-round stoppage. In Canelo, if I was going with Canelo, it would be a 10-round stoppage, Ward by decision if it goes to the cards. Canelo's body work is important in this fight because we've never seen Ward face a fighter that committed to the body, as much as Canelo, and with faster hands. And if a guy like Froch, which I credit that victory a lot to him, was able to put hands on him, because if you look at that fight, Froch did put hands on Ward. Canelo's going to put his hands on Ward as well, So it's going to be a tough fight.
I thought that fight was pretty easy for Ward, to be honest. I think Ward dominated that fight.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I don't really remember that fight, to be honest. It wasn't.
But there were moments. There were moments. I seen Ward hurt. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I seen Ward kind of shaken up in a round or two. There,
he held a lot in the fight. He held a lot.
So. And there were times he got caught up on the belt, on the ropes, and Froch was able to get in some good body work. If you look at Ward, he was pretty worn down. That was a really good fight between them two. You have to rewatch it. There's a lot of little things there you miss when you watch a fight the first time. But if you go back, take a second look, you always find something new.
Ward was very crafty. He wasn't exciting to watch. Ward.
It was
not at all.
Bernard Hopkins, kind of a Bernard Hopkins kind of style, Philly, rough, leans in a lot. It's a difficult style because, he's not concerned about looking good, and some fighters are, they like to have a little more class to their style. You know what I mean? So it can visually look nice, because at the end of the day, you are performing for people. So it's kind of like an art, like I've explained before, so you have to have some sort of classiness to the style, it can't just be.
Thing is, Nelson, Floyd Mayweather, he had although people said he was boring, for me, he was quite I used to like watching him because he was quite silky in his moves, and he, I just think Ward was boring. I didn't really think I don't think Ward had the smooth moves that Mayweather had. Mayweather had that pull counter, and his defense, some of his defensive moves was genius. It was great to watch. Whereas Ward was quite boring to watch. What would you say, Nelson?
I would, surprising. I would disagree with you on that because Ward will fight, even though it gets dirty and it gets messy.
Yeah,
Ward will fight. You know what I mean? Whereas Floyd was so talented and he was, he was outmatching the guys so much that There was no need for him to get in the trenches like Ward needed to. You know what I mean? And in those weight
Yeah, yeah,
classes,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're saying, it's different. You know, it's a different thing when you're 168, 175 pounds. It's not the same as the 140 pounders. You know, it's a whole different ball game, which people don't take into account. You know, a lot of physical.
But what about early on, Nelson, in Floyd's career at 135 when he was throwing more punches and he was more exciting?
Yeah,
Floyd.
it was impressive, but you would have liked to see it against, well,
bigger
yeah,
guys.
it was. Yeah. It was good. It was good. But Ward seems to be a little more willing to, go there.
Trade.
Yeah. So
what do you think, Rare Breed? Go on, Nelson. Finish your point.
No, that was it. That was it, Imran.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rare Breed, I think CV's not there. Then I'll come to Makai. Rare Breed, what do you think? I don't know. Is Rare Breed not there? Makai, what do you think? Makai, you there? I think Makai, you gone? Are you there? Ash, you there? Ash? Guys, are we here?
You hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't. No one else is speaking.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Ash. I can hear you guys. So, guys, what do you make of what do you make of what do you make of what we were just talking about, guys? I don't know where everyone's gone. Nelson.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we might as well carry on. No one else is here. Everyone's gone, or they're here, but they're not talking.
Let's
Hey man,
try
can
to
you hear
keep
me?
it going. Hey, let's try to keep it going.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, Ash. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear you.
Yeah, what were you saying?
So what do you guys think then? Do you think Ward was more exciting than Mayweather?
Who are you asking that to?
You, Ash.
Okay. What do you say? No, I don't think so. But it just depends on when and what Ward you're talking about. Mayweather. Andre Ward was if you look at his last fight, even with Kovalev, he had a 3-fight deal, didn't he? Where he got paid his most. Even then, no one really wanted to watch him. So, people still wanted to see him lose. Not like no one wanted to see him lose. He's undefeated as well. But he just stays more like... The difference was Mayweather wouldn't throw a lot, but when he did, he'd land everything he threw. Where Andre Ward's work was a bit like, it wasn't so clean. It was like Nelson was saying, it was all like, coming in and rough and wasn't so good on the eye. Where Mayweather would avoid punches and maybe land 10 in the round, but he'll land all 10, if you know what I mean. Yeah. In that way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If we're gonna talk about Rare Breed, are you there?
I'm here. Imran, I was gone for like 2 minutes. Did you say my name or anything?
All right, okay. What do you think, Makai? Who's more entertaining, Mayweather or Ward?
Oh, Mayweather definitely. Ward was so boring, and when he was entertaining, it was just him nut shotting people.
You're not a big fan of Ward, Makai?
No, I don't like him.
It was tough on the eyes.
Yeah, Makai's not a big fan of Ward. He finds him he nut shots a lot of guys. He's a snooze fest of a fighter.
And elbows, headbutts.
Yeah. He is a little sloppy. That's what I meant about. That's what I meant about cleaning the fighter up. When you're a certain level, you have to also clean the other fighter up. You know, he might be a guy that likes to run it with his head or lunge in. And if you looked at the Plant knockout, where after he caught him with the hook, he pushed off and came back with the uppercut underneath. When you that's him cleaning Plant up. That's what you mean cleaning up a fighter. It's because you know he's gonna come and try to lunge and grab you. You know, so you got to be ready to push off, and he's gonna go down after that, and you got to have something waiting for him right there. So that whole sequence, it's important when you're fighting fighters like Ward. You know, you have to clean them up because they can get very, right. You know that's how headbutts happen, and it's a messy fight. You got to do a lot of, and if you had the high level, you're going to try your best to straighten him up.
He literally ruined Kovalev's career because of him being dirty. He didn't. Kovalev wasn't the same after that.
Kovalev ruined his own career.
Kovalev wasn't the same after those two Ward fights because it's corruption.
I think Rebreed's right that Kovalev was ill-disciplined. He ruined his own career, in my opinion.
And he just wasn't.
Why is
Makai?
I don't think. I don't think he did. I think that I don't think that he ruined his career. He just took his normal course. It's normal.
I want to respond to Makai real quick.
Golovkin's not the same either after those two Canelo fights because he feels he got got robbed, cheated by, and he's clearly not the same.
Makai, Rebreed wants to say something to you.
Big difference. Look, Kovalev wasn't the same after the Ward fights for one simple reason. He wasn't as good as Ward. Ward outclassed him. He figured him out. He figured him out in the first fight, and then the second fight, he had them all figured it out, and it was over with.
This is what I'm trying to say here.
He can't take shots to the body because he's an alcoholic.
I mean, if you're calling those nut shots body shots, then I don't know what to say to you.
People who are weak to the body always make the excuse that it's a nut shot, but he just weak to the body. That's all it is.
No. I have eyes, and I saw in the slow-mo and everything. It was right on his nuts. No, headbutts and everything. Ward is a dirty fight. I don't know why you're trying to defend him here. Ward was so dirty in that Kovalev fight. He was uncomfortable because he was getting outboxed. He was getting beaten up. So what he had to do was come in and hit him in the nuts to slow him down.
I think you're exaggerating the beating up part. Kovalev definitely won the first. He won the first 6 to 5 rounds, but that was about it.
Kovalev won the first fight, hands down.
Kovalev won the first fight, yeah, and the second fight, Ward. Oh my God, he literally stopped him with body shots. Like I don't know what the ref was looking at.
I mean, he hurt him with a hook to the head, and then he finished him off with to the body.
Right, he was getting him with the body shots and everything. Slowed him down. He was clearly very. Have you ever been hit in the nuts? Imagine getting hit in the nuts like 10 times. You're going to be very uncomfortable.
You really think it's hitting him in the nuts?
Your arms are going to be down, and then you're going to get hit in the head. Like these things happen. You can't tell me like he didn't get hit in the nuts. Like,
don't you think it's in your best interest to say you're getting hit in the nuts when you can't take it to the body as a good excuse?
He was literally saying to the ref that he was getting hit in the nuts, but the ref, wasn't doing it for some weird reason.
So the ref is on Ward's side for whatever. Why? Yes. Why would they do that? What did they get?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
I can't. I'm trying to tell you it, but you're not agreeing with it. But I don't know how you're trying to like.
Basically,
it's true though. Like, Kovalev is not disciplined. Like, if he was a disciplined guy, maybe he would be able to take those body shots.
No, but
I mean, thank you. Someone in the comments said it. It was obvious on the camera. Like, we literally all saw our eyes. I mean, unless you haven't seen it, like it was fairly obvious.
I was going to say to Rebreed, if Andre Ward is so good, he should have beat him easy than any. Why is there a question about his body shots or whatever it was?
Exactly.
Wait. If he's so good,
I'm surprised we haven't got called a hater yet. That's what
did you say? Did you say if Kovalev was if Ward was so great, he should have beat Kovalev easily?
Of course, Mayweather beat guys easily because he's so great.
Kovalev was literally the number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world.
Listen, man, pound for pound, he has a made up list. Don't talk about made up lists, and fair enough. But you know,
I mean,
if you talk facts, yeah, fact is, yeah, he was the number one at that weight. But you're talking about discipline and all that. If you want to talk
Didn't
about
War move up to
outside,
fight him?
Let me finish. If you're talking about outside facts here, then you can say a lot of things where Andre Ward could have came in with an injury or you know whatever. We're not talking about outside facts. You're saying he's great. He was the number one guy, and he struggled
Okay.
both times. He beat
So
him.
let's talk
He
facts.
got beat the first fight. Got beat the
Let's
first
talk
fight.
facts.
Lost the
War
first
won the
fight.
fight, period. That's facts.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're gonna go
Knockout.
and say period. But listen,
He knocked him out. Get
What are you
over
watching
it.
then?
Yeah, do you know
What are
why
you
he knocked
watching?
him out? Because he hit him in the nuts 20 times.
No,
That's
he
why
knocked him out because he's an alcoholic.
That's why.
Yeah. So no one drinks.
Maybe
No one.
Kovalev should have laid off the
No
vodka.
boxers drink, man.
No,
boxers
we have
drink.
eyes. I'm pretty sure he hit him in the nuts. We literally
He
have
should have
eyes.
laid off the vodka, man. That's his
They
fault.
were the most blatant nut shots I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I
Here's,
think you
okay,
even
here's
saw
the
it as
thing then.
well.
Here's
You
the
were
thing.
just,
Here's
you're
the
not.
thing. Here's the thing. Let's switch this topic then. Let's talk about Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko.
Easy fight.
Who wins that fight?
Easy fight for Loma. That's why we
Absolutely not. Loma does
Easy
not
fight
belong
for
at 135.
Lomachenko. I don't think it's not an easy fight for either of them.
I mean, why
Easy
don't
fight.
Tank want to fight him? I mean, Tank said, Tank, I don't need Loma. Like you've been saying it every year. Like it's just
I'll tell you
ridiculous,
why
man.
Tank would fight him. I think
Oh, he wouldn't.
Mayweather doesn't
I don't
want to
think
put
so,
him in
man.
there. I think Mayweather thinks.
Tank doesn't control that.
Yeah, Tank can't control that. I think it's Mayweather. And
I mean,
team.
that could be true. I don't know, but
Tank
is from Baltimore.
You honestly think they're both? So Rabri, you think it's an easy fight for Tank, and Makai, you think it's an easy fight for Lomachenko? No,
I was exaggerating.
It's not an easy fight for either guy.
I was exaggerating, but the reason why I think Tank would win is because Loma does not belong at 135. He can beat some guys, like the lower level guys at 135, but like the elite guys at 135, I don't think he can beat them.
But so who's the elite guys at 155 then? That's what I want to know.
135.
Yeah,
but I don't think he can beat. Devin is too long and big for him. Tank is just too powerful.
Okay.
Who else? Teofimo, like some of the issues that Teofimo was giving Loma, Tank presents those same issues.
I'm just saying here though, in that Lopez fight, obviously Loma, he didn't flip and throw anything for like 7 rounds. But when he started throwing, I mean, he was winning every round after that.
Yes.
If he just started a bit early, he would have won. I mean, I think.
But the thing about Teo,
we overrated Lopez for that win a little.
Yes, we did. The thing about Lopez, he has Tank's athleticism a little bit, but he doesn't have Tank's boxing skills.
But don't you think that fight would happen right now? Clearly, Floyd or Tank, I don't know who it is that's stopping that. But clearly, Tank's team, if they thought that Tank would win, they would do a fight. That's why they're giving him fights at Isaac Cruz, because they know that's fights that Tank can win.
Not necessarily.
Loma's a very hard fight. They know Loma's very hard fight, very tricky fight. That's why they have been fighting it. They've been, avoiding that fight for like 4 years.
I mean, that fight's very hard to make because of
they're going to try and fight Loma. I reckon they're going to try and fight Loma in the next 2 years when Loma's, is a bit washed up and everything, because that's what they love doing.
We might never get that fight because one is a top rank guy, so you know how hard it is to get PBC guys and top rank in the ring together.
Mm-hmm.
Also, other stuff, but it's just my opinion. I think I respect Loma. I just think he's too small for the weight class.
I mean, he's been doing very well. Like he's been Comey, Nakatani, Linares. He's been all these contenders.
Yeah,
I
think Tank would knock those guys out in 1 to 4 rounds.
Especially
Comey. Especially Comey. Comey is very undisciplined and he's just clumsy.
Yeah, but Loma, he's looked good in all those lightweight fights. He's I wouldn't say. Yeah, he'd probably be better at like super featherweight because he'll be fighting guys more his size. But I mean, Loma's doing great, especially against guys who are twice the size of him. I mean, that's pound for pound right there for talking.
Look at the fight between him and Pedraza and what's his name, Luke Campbell. If Luke Campbell was a similar size to Loma, Lomachenko would have dominated that fight way more than he actually did. Luke Campbell gave him some issues. It's most because of size.
Honestly, I really think people overrate Luke Campbell's performance in that fight. I watched the fight. I mean, I never really saw Loma in big trouble at all. I mean, there was this one, I think it was in the 9th round, where Campbell got him with some body shot. That was it. That was it.
But what I'm saying is, it wouldn't have went 9 rounds or however long it went if it wasn't for the size difference.
Maybe, yeah.
So that's my point.
If Loma was the same size as Campbell, yeah, that fight would have been over, definitely. But
Do you honestly think Luke Campbell can go 12 rounds with Tank Davis, a healthy Tank Davis? No, he's not.
Tank does hit harder than Campbell. It's true, he does. But Loma's the better boxer. Loma's literally got the style to beat him.
He is. But can you honestly say, can anybody on this panel, without a shadow of doubt, is the skill gap between Tank and Loma that high? Yes. It might be. No, it's not. Look. I'll say this: there might be a gap. There might be a gap, but it's not as big as you think it is. Tank can box too.
Tank's. I mean,
on top of having way more power.
Bradley said that as well.
Tank can box. He's not special like Loma. I mean, Loma, he had like 500 amateur bouts. He literally won a world title bout in only 3 fights. There's definitely a bigger skill level. I mean, we've seen this guy make fighters quit. He's literally been out boxing guys, just beating the hell out of them. Tank. I mean,
yeah, but those are smaller guys though. That's Walters and Rigo.
You can't. He was bigger than Rigo because Rigo wanted to move.
Cruz was a smaller guy.
Cruz is short, but he's not a smaller guy. He's very compact.
I was about to say about that Cruz fight. A lot of people think Tank lost that fight. So,
what do you think? Do you honestly think Tank lost that fight?
Won.
Okay, so who cares what people think?
Just like he did.
Well, he broke his hand.
The Gamboa fight. Just like the Gamboa fight.
Well, great fighters when they run into issues, they make adjustments.
What round?
What do you mean?
What round did he break?
What do you mean?
What round did you said Tank broke his hand?
Well, according to his trainer, he had already hurt his hand, but I guess he
what
hurt
round?
it more in the third.
What round? What round?
It very fine.
The 5th or 6th round.
In the 6th round?
The 5th or 6th round.
So was it the 9th?
Okay, so let's say the 5th round. Let's say the 5th round. Then what's the excuse for the rounds before that? Tank looked horrible.
So wait. He's supposed to knock him out in 4 rounds, up to 1 to 4 rounds. Why does he have that kind of?
He didn't outbox. There was I did not see Loma. Cruz would not last 12 rounds with Loma. Okay, Cruz would not last 12 rounds with Teofimo. Okay.
Let me tell you this.
Wouldn't happen.
Cruz will give Loma a much better fight than what's his name? Coleman. I promise you. I don't know why people are trying to hate on Cruz, not because they hate Cruz. They don't like Tank. So when they don't like Tank, they try to downplay his opponents.
Can I say what's funny about
that? That's a fact.
Yes, that was not a good performance.
He's top 10 in every ranking.
Well, no. When the Tank vs Cruz fight got announced, everyone was saying, Tank's going to knock this guy out inside 4 rounds. He goes 12 rounds, had a really good fight. Very controversial. Now all of a sudden, Cruz, this great lightweight, that's going to be
what fight did
Loma? People it makes no sense here. Tank was.
I don't know about
what fight did Tank and what weight class did Tank and Cruz happen at? 135. He went 12 rounds. What weight did Tank Gamboa go with? 135. He went 11 rounds with Gamboa. Nah, Tank power is overrated. His boxing skills are overrated. And I'm looking at both of those weights. If Tank and Loma fought right now, I would heavily favor Tank. And if Rare Breed believes that Tank could beat Loma, I have $3,000 to $8,000 to bet on Loma. There's a reason they're not putting Tank in the ring with these guys. There's a reason.
Thank you.
And that Cruz fight exposed it. That Cruz fight and that Gamboa fight expose it. I like Tank. We're never going to know how good Tank is because Tank out of his own mouth said, I'm not going to fight an elite fighter for another 2 years. Floyd Mayweather said out of his own mouth, Tank is only doing in-house fights. What does that tell you? They don't believe in Tank. So if Rare Breed believes in Tank, cool. I got money. If you think Tank beats Loma easy, take my money then, because I got money to put on the line.
Not easy, but I think he can beat him. But it's mostly because Honestly, I think he's the most talented guy at 135 in terms of
Well, you
natural
think
skills.
and understand you think that, but that doesn't show anything. I can show you by metrics that
Well,
Loma
you
is
think
better than
Loma,
Tank.
so it's same thing. You think Loma can beat Tank? That's cool. You're also thinking you don't know that for sure until they get in the
Yeah,
ring.
I know that, and that's why we'll put money on it. That's the reason why I'll put money on it.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, we won't know until they get in the ring.
Reverie, do you
But
think Tank
I don't
is
see it
tough
happening.
fighters?
I
Do you
don't
think
see
Tank's
it's
tough
going to
fighters?
be it's going to be the Floyd Mayweather blueprint, and they're going to age Loma out. So what's going to happen.
I mean, Loma's
I don't
already
see Tank
lost. Loma's lost twice
twice.
already, so there's not like some mystique that he can't be beat. So I don't know where this comes from. Where the Loma is
No,
this unbeatable
there is no
monster.
mystique.
He's not.
He's not. But Tank doesn't beat him. Tank isn't a monster
And
either.
forget Tank. I don't think Loma beats Devin Haney.
I have money. I have $3,000 to $8,000 to put on Loma beating Haney. If you are
No.
on the West Coast, no. If you are on the West Coast of the Mississippi, we can do $3,000. If you are on the East Coast of the Mississippi, I will travel to you. I will take $8,000 in cash, and we can bet on that fight.
Oh, Reverie,
Okay.
look at this. I just seen this, right. In 2016, Gervonta Davies is in no hurry to fight Loma, says Mayweather. 2017, Vasyl Lomachenko will have to wait for Davies. 2018, Mayweather says no rush to have Davies fight Lomachenko. 2019, guess what? Gervonta isn't rushing into a fight with Lomachenko. I mean, is this
What year?
This is clear to
What
you
year
here,
are
right?
we in, guys? What year are we in? What year is it now?
2022.
Exactly. Come on.
So how many years has that been? How many years?
Okay.
6 years.
Mayweather may not believe in Tank, but I think he can do it.
Cool. I hope you do, because I want to bet money on it. I want you to believe in it.
I don't know.
But the thing is, I think it's a 50. I do think it's a close fight. I don't think it's as one-sided as what people think.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those fights where, I think Tank is being overlooked a little bit,
which is ridiculous.
Just because of the fact that I think that Tank's not fought the best competition. People are thinking that this guy is not. I think Cruz was a solid fighter. Was no bum.
Imran.
He was a good fighter. Yeah.
I wanted to say, look, let's not discredit Tank, for example, right? Because obviously, like, I fancy Lomachenko, but let's just make the point that, he's moving up. He's not really at a division. You can't say what fights. So if to make it interesting, I'm sure he could make 130, and Lomachenko could make it. Then that would be a better fight because he's got the power, yes. But that Cruz guy, I think Lomachenko maybe would have been the same because the guy's a bit pressury, but I think Lomachenko would have beat him a bit better. So, only thing he has got is power.
We don't know that.
The only thing he has got is power. He ain't got better skills than Lomachenko. We gotta agree
but
on
Isaac Cruz is a chin on him.
Yeah, but remember this. Who was Lomachenko?
And he's strong.
I mean, like Lomachenko's for guys with chins. Who's a chinny guy? Lomachenko for.
It's not just that though; it's the style. He has the like Mike Tyson, where he shells up in that little how do you call it?
Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz, and he's like relentless coming forward. Like he puts a lot of pressure on you, so it will be a good fight with him and Lomachenko. I think.
But the point I'm trying to make
Lomachenko doesn't really fight on the back foot.
That style,
He's not gonna bully him. He's too strong.
That style, like pressurizing both these fighters, kind of like struggle with, because Tank showed that against Cruz where he couldn't take him out of there, and Lomachenko maybe on the back foot, is seen to be a bit struggling. So we can agree that both of them struggle with that. So only thing we're disagreeing on is that who's more skillful, and I'm saying Lomachenko is, because we maybe agree that Tank's got a bit more power, but remember, who's been knocking out smaller guys. So you gotta look at that as well.
Does Reverie fight anybody like Loma? But I don't think Loma's ever fight anybody like Cruz either. The closest thing would be Orlando Salido, and he kind of fights like him a little bit too. He's also a dirty
but
fighter.
Orlando Salido is a guy that's really been around been a block of wood a few times and knows every trick in the book. This Cruz guy is a fresh lad that's come in and he's a Mexican style fighter, and he didn't really. I guarantee you, if that was Orlando Salido and that was Tank's first fight and them kind of way, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orlando Salido was a very experienced guy.
Yeah, that guy knew
Very
every trick in
dirty.
the
He was
book. You know
very
what I mean?
dirty in that fight as well.
That's still not somebody that Loma should be losing to.
But
his
what you got to
second
remember
fight,
is,
though.
Agreed, is that the professional game and the amateur game is a different story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when you come and take your first
Loma's
fight,
last two
believe me in
fights
your
are
skills.
better fighters than Cruz, Nakatani and Comey.
I mean, I don't think Tank would ever fight a Salido in his second fight. And if we're gonna
think that would be
if
unfair,
Rare Breed's
though,
gonna
Campos.
get on other
That
boxers,
would be unfair. That would be unfair, Campos.
It would.
Because Tank didn't have the amateur background that Lomachenko had. So I don't think we can. I think obviously that was never going to be the case. Lomachenko was a very great amateur who they had to what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? They had to
fast track.
Fast track, yeah, they had to fast track because he was a lot older, Tank was a little pup when he came in,
Okay.
You won't put someone like Devontae in with Orlando Salido in his second fight. He was only a kid.
You know what I think?
Okay.
Even if Mayweather, is Tank still being fast tracked? Thank you. No.
No, Tank now.
Is Tank still being fast tracked, or is he slow tracked?
Isn't Tank like 26 now as
Slow
well,
track
man?
right now.
I don't know what's going on with his career.
He's
Honestly.
slow track right now.
He's 27
Oh my
He's
years old.
He's cherry picking right now.
Slow jam right now.
That's proper cherry picking. I'm sorry, this is proper cherry. To fight, why are you
So,
going up to 140 to fight Barrios? What
so
was the purpose fight? What are the
You know what I mean? Rare Breed,
do
let
that,
Rare Breed,
man?
Rare Breed
Why
answer,
are they
man.
picking these guys?
Yeah, Rare Breed, come in
Why
here.
are they picking these guys? These you talk about Canelo not fighting, or he's not fighting the best, but he's fighting champions. This dude's fighting not champions. He's fighting guys that we've never heard of, like
And
Barrios.
Imran, when Canelo was 22, 23, he was fighting Lara,
Yeah, he
Floyd
fought
Mayweather,
Mayweather.
Trout, guys like that. But I
Fought
mean, some
Mayweather.
like Rare Breed, do you think
Rare
Tank?
Breed.
You must think
What we got to
Tank's
say
cherry
about
picking as
that?
well. Do you think Canelo's cherry
Canelo's
picking?
like Tank. Let Rare Breed answer
Well,
this. Go
Canelo
on, Rare Breed.
Canelo became. Wait a minute. Canelo became a what's it called? A pro at 15 or 16.
Okay, yeah, but
No,
he
no,
had
but
like
I'm
he
talking
literally
about
like
now. Like Tank's got a lot of experience now.
By the time he fought Floyd, Canelo had already beaten Mosley, right?
Yeah, but Mosley, no, but I'm talking about what's it called? Tank. Tank is now cherry, like at this point, fair enough. A couple years ago, no, because he was still making his way, but right now he's cherry picking. At this point,
Yeah.
Would you agree? Disagree?
I would say so.
okay.
To me,
You would.
To me,
You wouldn't say so.
no. I said I would. Well, I'll say this.
All right.
I'll give him one more chance. If the next
Yeah.
fight is not an elite guy, then okay, it's official. Like, what? Come on, bro.
Nah,
Like,
man. Nah, man. He don't need no other chance. Cherry picking, just like all the other ones.
that's too late.
Yeah,
cherry picking.
Tell him,
Yeah,
tell him,
Stephen
Steve.
hit the nail on the head, man.
If
Stephen hit the nail on the head there.
if Canelo's cherry picking, I mean Tank must be cherry picking Rare Breed. Come
Yeah.
on, like you're saying
Yeah.
you're talking about Canelo cherry picking everyone. Like
No,
Tank's
but you know what?
clearly
No,
doing it
no,
as
but
well.
here's the thing,
Imran.
Masai. His cherry picking is worse. Canelo's
Can you-
cherry picking champions. This guy's cherry picking nobody.
I've just got
He's
2
cherry
points.
picking guys that aren't champions. We've never heard.
But wait,
Like, who's
the thing
Barrios?
about cherry picking though is one
Say that again.
point. The one thing about cherry picking is when you're a guy like Canelo, you can actually cherry pick for real. Like, because Canelo can literally
so
fight
Tank.
anybody he wants,
And so
and nobody will ever.
Tank's the A side in all his fights.
That's true. That's true.
Tank's the man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, man. Listen. What's good for the goose is always good for the gander.
Yeah.
I don't condone cherry picking of any level, and what Tank is doing is egregious. It's just as egregious what Canelo's
Egregious.
doing. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, this dude is jumping up and weight, up and down and weight, up and
Yeah.
down and weight, fighting nobody, man, fighting the people he want to fight. And I want to get back to something else, man, because I don't want to let it go. Earlier, I had to get off because I had a business call, but they didn't stop me. It didn't stop me from listening. Okay, and I heard somebody on the panel say that Andre Ward fought in the era where the fighters were weaker. Cut that out. Don't do that. Knock it off. He fought in the era where there was gangsters.
Who said
Mikhail
that? Who said
Kessler,
that? Nelson.
Carl Froch. That was who?
I was thinking who said that.
Who said
Okay.
that?
I said
I can't remember.
I was saying that because
was it you? Okay.
a lot were saying that. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that Andre Ward fought nothing but like
Y'all knock it off. Knock that off,
fighters.
Knock that off.
No, I said, Stephen, that Andre Ward was fighting good fighters. You know what I mean? But the only elite fighter that he fought in his prime, like elite, like Kessler and Froch were good fighters. Don't get me wrong; they were good fighters. But I don't view them as great fighters. Do you know what I mean? Like when I mean great fighters, I mean like Canelo, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Crawford, Froch, and Kessler don't come in that kind of class, do they?
No. And we forgetting about killers like Kelly Pavlik, Jermaine Taylor, Bad Chad Dawson, man.
They were great fighters. Again, they were both of them, Kelly Pavlik and Jermaine Taylor, great fighters. But Carl Froch didn't fight Kelly Pavlik or Jermaine Taylor.
But what I'm saying is that that era. Is that my man Lil Penny?
Yeah, Stephen, you go. Sorry.
No, man. I want to hear. Yeah, I always love to hear my man Lil Penny. He kicked that truth. He kicked the truth, man. Go ahead.
I was just saying, Imran, Froch has a better resume than Bud Crawford.
Who?
Maybe, but that's a better fighter.
He does have. Froch has a better resume. Khan has a better resume than Terence Crawford, but that doesn't mean. But when they fought, Crawford beat him. You know, I don't really think that plays too much.
Khan didn't win all of his fights. Crawford, you know, he has won all his fights. He's won the fights that's been put in front of him. You know, obviously because Spence is clearly obviously doesn't want to fight Crawford. So I wouldn't say it's Crawford's fault about his resume.
I'm glad you guys said that. So that means there's no excuse for Canelo not to fight David Benavidez. I don't want to hear about resumes.
I don't think anyone. I don't think I would ever.
Guys,
maybe not you
about that fight. Oh yeah, it's probably others. Yeah.
Guys, if you watch,
go on, Little Penny.
There's Mario Lopez and I can't remember. There's a Chinese guy who they've got a podcast as well, and they had the president. Yeah, that's it, Kim. Yeah, and they had the president of the Ring magazine as a guest, and they were talking about Andre Ward, and they were saying that Andre Ward's top four fighters that he beat are really good, but after that, it's very bad. Like for example, his top four is he beat Kovalev, he beat Carl Froch, he beat Chad Dawson, Mikhail Kessler, but then after that, there's nothing. And also the Chad Dawson one, that's an asterisk because he had Andre Ward asked him to go down from 175, to 168, and also Mikhail Kessler was already washed up at that time. By the time he got him,
But here's the thing, though, Lil Penny. Here's the thing though. The his path. If you run the Super Six, and that's what they really need to start doing, so we can eliminate some of these clowns that be fighting. If they do a Super Six right now, I doubt very seriously a lot of these fighters will make it out. That was a serious tournament. It was a historical tournament.
No, you're right.
And I mean, we're forgetting other things here. Andre Ward, you know, he was a very dirty fighter in those fights. I mean, look what we've done to Kessler's face. I mean, he headbutted him. Did we see the bruises?
But
and everything?
Steven, am I wrong when I say that Canelo would have beaten all those guys apart from Andre Ward? Would you agree that Canelo would beat Kessler? He would beat Froch. he would beat all those
I,
guys.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Kessler was a dude, man. I mean, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, to be honest with you, if you really want me to tell the truth of how I really feel with no bias in it, I don't know. I don't know how he fares in that tournament. I really don't. That was a tough tournament, man.
I know, man. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know,
Kessler
man. Froch was probably he fought Ward in the final, and I've seen Froch's whole career. I don't think he beats or comes close to beating Canelo. Like, I think Canelo's just all round too good for some of those guys like Darrell and the other guys. Yeah, I don't think they could beat.
I forgot about Andre Darrell. And back Darrell, the Darrell brothers, they were a lot. They weren't.
Darrell beat Froch. He got robbed in that fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? And they weren't like the Darrell brothers of today, like Andre is today. That's when they went in the prime. Man, boxing was real good back then. And boxing is one of those sports where like boxing is one of those sports to where like once time has passed and you know possibly the post whatever era is, we seem to forget about how good those guys was. This is the time before there was no internet. There was no internet. There was no nothing back then. It was straight hardcore boxing, and to be in boxing, you had to be hardcore. So let's stop saying this X, Y, and Z, because the truth of the matter is that I don't know. Because all those guys, I got made mucho props for all those guys. Mikhail Kessler, Andre the World, Alan Hill, even Alan Green, Jermaine Taylor, Bad Chad Dawson, Carl Froch, Joe Cowles. Everybody back then was solid. So man, this now you want to talk about boxing now, and then you just coming into the sport, and you speaking off of present day, I can talk that with you too. But nah, man, I give everybody. I know you're gonna hate to hear me say this, little penny, but I give everybody flowers. I like to give you a rose. Okay,
Steven, Steven, I don't think Canelo can beat Ward though. I think Ward is just too big, too skilled for him.
Yeah. See what happens though, little penny is. And listen, and Imran made a good point earlier today. Listen, I want to say this, and I want to be very explicit in saying this. Listen, it's nothing wrong with championing a fighter that you have something in common with, a fighter that represents your background, your ethnicity, and somebody who's putting on for the sport. I never once said that Canelo wasn't no killer. Canelo is a certified, bona fide killer. But in terms of having a good dialogue and unbiased, you had to put things in perspective. You can't gloss over somebody's cherry pick and then say, "Oh, he gets to do this because he's Canelo, or he's this, that, and third."
Yeah, true.
I get it. Yeah. I like fighters. I like Manny Pacquiao. I'm partial to him because to me, I like them. I like them a whole lot. I like Roy Jones Jr. But I'm not gonna gloss over something that I see from them that's egregiously erroneous and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let's love the sport how it is. But for somebody to get on here and say that they don't know about a fighter and stuff, I can't say. The truth is, at 175, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of killers at 175. Canelo ain't used to fighting at 175. He's not gonna be favored with some of those guys. Those guys are tried and true gangsters, man. Look at Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard with the business. Come on, man. Let's stop getting, say you become a prisoner of the moment. Don't do that.
Sure. Preach.
James Deere, my friend James Deere in the chat says Canelo can't beat anyone or can't beat the guys at 160, so he bounced.
I guess Golovkin and Jacobs weren't good fighters then. I mean, he's probably. I bet is he an Andrade fan? That's something an Andrade fan would say. Oh well, there you go then.
No, well, James feels James feels like Canelo's avoiding
James did. Did you watch that Mayweather video I sent you? I want to see if he says yes.
What did you send him?
It's something that would probably make him cry, so he probably didn't watch it. It was just about Mayweather ducking. It was just about Mayweather, like, you know, ducking big fights all the time. That's the video I sent him. I told him to watch it, and I didn't see no reply back or anything. So I don't think he watched it. I don't think he wants to click on the button.
Here's the thing about Gervonta and Loma, man. I really want to see that, guys. I really want to see that fight. I'm really, really, really keen on seeing that fight. I think it's one of the biggest fights in boxing. I do.
Yeah.
Gervonta I think it's one of the biggest fights in boxing.
It is one of the biggest fights in boxing. But I don't think
Steven, what do you think about that fight? What's your opinion on that fight?
You know, I like you know who I like. I like Gervonta to win, but you know what? You know, it's pathetic because you ain't never gonna see that because Gervonta he wasting his time with Floyd and them. He need to kick them to the curb, man. Go on about his cut them loose, go on down the road and get with somebody, get with the PBC, become a free agent and take his career, take control over his career. They babysitting him because they don't want him to lose. Too much loyalty.
Too much loyalty.
Yeah, but there's not much he can do though. There's not much he can do. He's tied to a contract, I guess.
You know, Floyd.
One thing I will get.
You go, Steven.
I was just gonna say real quick, Blue Penny. Real quick. One thing I will give Canelo is Canelo is a boss. Canelo knew that, he was being hindered by Golden Boy production, Golden Boy promotions, and he said, you know what? I'm Canelo Alvarez. I'm Canelo Saul. Payday, Canelo, you want payday, Alvarez. And he said, you know what? I am boxing, and he took control over that. He eliminated his blockage. He got the blockage out the way, and now look what Canelo's been able to do since then. That's one thing I will give Canelo.
Yeah. Hey, Floyd's intention. Floyd's intention of Tank is to make Tank a pay-per-view star, right? So fighting Lomachenko will actually get him to that, because I think that will be a pay-per-view success because of the caliber of both fighters. So I don't know why Mayweather doesn't want to make that fight, because if that's his intention, then that's how you do it. Like, so what's the problem?
You want to be a pay-per-view star. You want to be a pay-per-view star off a win, and they don't feel Tank can beat Loma.
Yeah, true.
That's why.
But see, if he loses, right, and it's a competitive fight, he can get a rematch, and the pay-per-view will then increase even more, right?
The rematch always favors the more skilled boxer. Loma was a rematch. If you look statistically speaking, regardless of who won the first fight, the rematch always favors the more skilled boxer.
Yeah.
I might have to agree with you, man, because see, man, look at this, man, and you own to something when you say that too, because that does seem to be the more skilled boxer usually ends up winning a rematch. And here's the thing too about say Teofimo in Loma. Teofimo, his head is shot, man. Y'all remember a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about like the mental capacity of some boxers, how some boxers they get beat by themselves. Teofimo is one of them boxers. Y'all remember we were talking about that the other day? Do you remember we were talking about like the mental aspect of boxing? And Teofimo Lopez, he go ahead.
It's not just Teo, it's also Ryan Garcia. It's also Tyson Fury.
I think Tyson Fury. I think he's strong in the head.
Hey, I do know
Anthony
one thing.
Joshua.
Loma. So you can say that Tank is ducking Loma, but I could also argue that Loma is ducking Devin Haney.
Okay.
Who said the Tank? Hey, my man, who said the Tank was ducking Loma?
Well, that's what people are saying on the chat and on this stream.
Yeah,
man,
you can say that.
But
You can say that.
Didn't Loma didn't want to fight Haney because he wanted to have a unification with Tio?
I'm not sure why he wanted to duck Devin, but that's the reason why Devin has the WC belt in the first place. Because Loma dropped that belt in order to avoid the mandatory with Devin Haney.
Yeah, because he wanted
It
to
sounds like
fight
somebody.
Tio.
Hold on, man. It sounds like somebody building something. Somebody building something in the background.
Who's clicking in the background, man?
Yeah, there is.
Background.
Yeah,
somebody
the
making
Loma,
a treehouse or something.
the Loma Teofimo fight couldn't happen. The Loma Teofimo fight couldn't happen because Haney was Loma's mandatory.
Yep.
Bob wanted Loma to fight Teo, so Loma fought Teo for unification.
Yeah.
Bob protected Loma because he loves Loma. That's my opinion.
I don't know
couldn't
about
hear.
protection because
What was that?
I don't know about protection.
He loves Loma. He called him the next Ali.
No, he said that about
They also
everybody.
called Shakur the next Ali. He also called
I remember
Tyson
him
Fury.
No, he called Shakur
Yeah,
next Floyd.
But
he did.
Ali.
But Red Breed, I would rather fight.
And Shakur ain't no Floyd.
I would rather fight for all the belts rather than fight my mandatory. From a legacy point of view, it's better to fight someone where in a situation where all the belts are on the line rather than just one. You know what I mean? That's why he probably took that fight.
Yo, Imran, am I through? Did I come through?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
All right. Can we all just agree that Teofimo Lopez is still the best in the division?
Hell no.
No, he's not.
Why
Cambosos
not?
just beat him. He can't be. He can't be. Cambosos just beat him.
Cambosos robbed him. They all wanted Teo to lose. You know that.
Are you? Oh my God.
Nah, man. How did he get robbed? He got
Fuck
dropped.
out of here.
How did he get robbed? Teo dropped him to fight.
You always come out with these ridiculous things. How on earth did Lopez win that fight? Lopez was getting back. He won
dropped him
like
twice.
2 rounds, 2-3 rounds.
Teo
He dropped him once.
When did he drop him twice? He dropped him once, bro.
In
Did
the
you watch
first
the fight?
round, after when Teo got dropped, Cambosos rushed Teo and Teo dropped him right there, and they said it was a
That
slip.
wasn't-
They wanted
that
him to
wasn't-
lose because he beat Loma. It was all a setup. Eddie Hearn wanted him to lose because Teo beat Loma. He was the target ever since.
What does Loma have anything to do with Eddie Hearn? Loma
Because
was with are these one of your conspiracy theories again, like the one with you, Zeke, you said it in the last stream?
they wanted Teo to lose, and Teo's still the top dog.
Right, so
that's what I'm saying.
You think they wanted to rob Teo when he got outboxed for most of those rounds?
He didn't really get outboxed. To me, I saw a robbery right before my eyes.
What did Teo do?
Guys, who thinks that was a robbery? Steven, was that a robbery? Leo Penny,
Man,
was that a robbery?
man. Come on, man.
No.
Come on,
He
man.
got beat, man. He got beat.
Well, it's just my, what I saw. It's just what I saw. That's all.
But to be honest, I think Teo was weight drained because now he's just announced that he's going to go to 140. He should have done really one fight earlier. He's too big for 135 now. But he did lose the fight though.
Yeah.
Cambosos.
Yeah, he's moving to 140. He's already said he's moving to 140.
Yeah.
He has
And
already
Ryan
said
Garcia-
he's moving to 140.
Imran, Ryan Garcia sent, as I was saying in a last live stream, Ryan Garcia did send the contract to Cruz.
Yeah, they're waiting for Cruz to sign it, right?
Yeah, yes.
And by the way, guys, did you guys see the videos of the Tyson Fury controversy? That kind of looks a little fishy too, but
What video?
What controversy?
Fury did in white.
Of the flabby gloves, like apparently Tyson Fury poked a hole in the glove and pinched out the air to lessen the padding.
These conspiracy theories are just Yes, nah, man.
So you don't,
Hey, man,
I'm just
what's your
asking.
name, dude?
I'm just
What's
asking,
your
like,
name, my man?
just like dialogue. Not that not that I'm saying it's
Yeah,
true.
man, what's his name, man?
The Oracle. I don't know. The Oracle. Oracle, man. You're coming out with a lot of conspiracy
No, I'm just saying,
theories,
not
man.
that it's true. Just the speculations, because everybody brings up Canelo's,
Get
even
him,
though he got cleared.
old man Steve. Get him. Get him,
Man,
Steve.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Oracle, man. Come on, Oracle.
I'm not saying it was true. I was just saying if you guys have heard of it, what do you guys like? Your opinion? I just wanted to see what
I
his opinion
think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Nonsense.
Wilder lost, dude, so he has to get over that. Wilder lost.
He lost
three
three
times.
times. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah.
You know what? But the thing is, he came up, even though he lost the third fight, I kind of thought he won the battle because he's had a great fight. So he can move on to saying fighting AJ if AJ loses to Usyk, and that will be a huge fight in London. Losing doesn't mean that it doesn't mean and sometimes when you lose you win.
Wilder shot me in that third fight. He showed a lot of heart, man. Like, that fight showed me a little because he was taking big punches. He was, that he was dropping fury, having it out of him like that. It kind of made me feel like he would beat AJ. It makes me think that he would probably knock AJ out if they fought.
That'll be a huge fight in London, right?
Wilder gets a lot of stick, man. Wilder's a great fighter. I like Wilder.
Yeah.
I think Wilder's got a lot of heart, man. He's got a lot of heart. He might not have the greatest skills. Wilder's got a lot of heart. He takes a punch well, man. He's confident. He believes in himself.
Yeah,
I think we need to give Wilder credit, man. The guy's a warrior. I like Wilder.
I mean, who would win between him and Dillian White? I think that's a good fight, to be honest. I think that's a really good fight.
Wilder.
I just feel like he should have manned up and just denied the accusations at the press conference and not, that's all. And I would have respected him a bit more.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Oracle. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Some people they look. Some fighters are very delusional, and what I mean by that is that they live in a bubble, and it's like they're trying to believe that nobody can beat them. So Wilder believed that when he got beaten by Tyson Fury, he felt he could never lose. So he felt there's only way this man could beat me is by he had to cheat.
I hear you 100%.
And it makes great promotion.
Does that justify him firing his trainer, making these serious accusations?
No, it doesn't. But again, he had to convince himself. You see what I mean? He was fighting with himself mentally.
Yeah, but
Nelson's good at. Let Nelson have because I know Nelson's good at talking about stuff like this. Nelson, you go.
About Wilder?
About Wilder, yeah, fighting demons with himself about Fury beating him.
Yeah, of course, the confidence for a champion needs to be there at all times. Yeah, but it's also part of the promotion. This is part of the theater. It's all part of it too, So sometimes something goes out there and it catches on fire and they just decide to, run with it, and it also helps out the fighter as well, like you were saying, psychologically it keeps him still with some sort of a glimmer of hope that maybe it was something that was done to him and it kind of helps him out with training, or it can even help him out in a sense where it can motivate him to want to do more. You know what I mean? Thinking that so there's many ways. So this is all. It's all good because it feeds into the whole story.
In my opinion, I hear what you're saying 100%, but in my opinion, they should have just stuck it to Wilder and put him in jail and throw away the key for making serious accusations like that and firing his trainer.
Nah, it's just part of it's just being, you can't take everything too serious, It's just part of the show.
He fired his trainer though. He fired his trainer and made all type of serious accusations.
But that's his call. He's the boss. It's like
it almost seems like
Fury company.
It almost seems like
fire
Fury
their employee, can't he?
Well, I'm gonna be on the
team. I want to go back on something because I've been hearing a while the Loma and Tank fight. I've been running that
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
in my
yeah.
head for like the last 30 minutes. I've been
It's
thinking.
never gonna happen though. That fight's never gonna happen. So like, there's no point in promoting anymore.
No, but thing is, if
Yeah,
let Nelson make his point about it.
I was running, you know, and it's a great fight. It's a really, really good fight. I edge Lama a little more cool headed. The Tank likes to go to the heart sometimes, and you know he can be fiery, but Lama is a little bit calm, and that fight with, and I think his position of has been a little bit better than Tank's, and he's a great Loma's a great fighter, man. You know he looks good. He looks really
Nelson,
good.
Nelson, I see that fight happening, but not now. I think Mayweather's going to wait until Tank like slows down a little bit, or he loses another fight.
But
You know
but
what
I
I mean?
but I think Lama's got a very durable style. The way he fights, it has durability to it. You know, because it's clean. It's a very nice style. Loma's very nice to watch, and it's a great transaction. You know, transaction they've done from the Olympics to the pro. His style fitted just right. I mean, he's beautiful to watch. I mean, it's very nice, you know. And I would edge him. I would see the fight being very competitive the first 6 rounds, you know, because of Tank. You know, he's talented as well, but I think Lama's cooler head, you know, and his ability to keep his emotions out of the fight, you know, will give him an edge later down the line.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, that's my point. But it would be a great fight. I love both guys, both southpaws, which is very rare to have two great southpaws like this facing each other. It's a good, nice fight.
Nelson,
Yeah, great fight.
yo, Nelson, what do you think about Canelo versus Boo Boo? Who wins that?
A fun fight. Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it. I mean, I see similarities with the Billy Joe kind of fight, but I think that Boo Boo might want to probably throw a little bit more than and risk a little bit more, and this can be for an interesting fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives Canelo a tough time. I mean,
What about you, Imran?
it happens, you know. Sometimes
What about
you're
you?
not gonna win.
Sorry?
I was saying, what about you, Imran? Who wins that, Canelo or Boo Boo?
I think Canelo, but I agree with Nelson. It's an interesting fight.
It'd be fun. I mean, and given that he does, you know, he's already fought enough southpaws, you know, because you really don't want to see orthodox fighters in southpaw fights because it can stink up the joint. You know what I mean? You get a headbutt, it gets a little messy, feet get tangled up, you know, so it's a little bit hard to watch. But he does really good. Canelo does really good with southpaws because if I'm not mistaken, I think his older brother's one. The old Spaniard, they used to call him at 154. You know, he was a southpaw, and the sparring with him has given him that uppercut that he caught Billy with, which is a perfect weapon for a southpaw. You know, they come over with that hook or that right hand, you bop down and swoop, caught him nicely with that. So I see some of that, but maybe Boo Boo being a little more cagey, you know what I mean, and having a chip on his shoulder, and you know maybe putting in a little bit more. And Canelo's already getting a little maybe bored, you know.
Boo Boo might get knocked out, man. You know, you gotta as it stands right now, you know, you gotta roll with Canelo as the favorite in that fight. And I think it's probably time to quit, you know, even talking about that fight. I mean, we can just for fun, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I you know what I'm saying, but right now, I mean, Canelo.
That's what we're here for, Steve. We're here for fun. We're here for fun, Steve.
Talking about Andrade.
Stephen, I think the Loma Tank fight has more chance of happening than Canelo Boo Boo.
Yeah, me too, man. I think so too, man. I think that, you know, I think Andrade is I think we're gonna have to see more from Andrade. Andrade gonna have to make a he gonna have to make a he gonna have to make the decision to make us happy by fighting the opposition that he needs to fight. Take those steps. Okay, so what? You didn't get to fight Canelo. You didn't get to fight him back in the day. Let's move on from that, man. Because we it's getting to a point where it's mundane. It's mundane. It's an old thing that we need to put to bed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're gonna move up to 168, there's a lot of killers at 168 that you can make history with. And then who knows? Canelo said that he gonna stick around for 7-8 more years. They might get a chance to make it happen. But man, this is gonna face the fact that ain't gonna happen.
Talking about Andrade,
if they want to take the risk, Steve, let them take the risk. And I mean, I'll let them. Let them if they want to go up or down. That's their body. It's a tough sport. We don't want to kind of put limits around them. I mean,
yeah, you're right, Nelson.
I would understand if it was not that physical, but I mean, these guys should have control over what they want to put their bodies through. So
yeah, you're right.
We can't just look at it like another sport because it takes a physical toll on you. So we have to give them more control of what their body can do.
But you know what, Nelson? No, man, I feel like, man, we spend a lot of time. There's a lot of fighters that never get coverage because we spend a lot of time talking about, saying who Canelo.
Yeah. No, that's why I was talking about Loma. I was talking about Loma. He's just as great. I mean, this is a great guy to watch. I mean, very, very clean style. I watched his last fight. The consciousness that he's got in there to try to get the opponent's corner to throw in the towel. I mean, he's a special guy to watch.
Yo, Steven,
that Loma's a technician, boy. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Loma's a technician.
And that's why I will give him the edge because he's just and he knows he's not an emotional fighter. You know how to stay level. He keeps it cool. Even in the Tofino fight, he was coming hot in the ending of that fight. I believe that if they were to have done it again, I would have given Loma the edge because at the end of that fight, you can see Loma was starting to come on and starting to pretty much predict what Tofino was doing. It was just he was too young and too fast, and he needed him to wear